짠, 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 짠. 자, 에르큐 포아로 첫 번째 사건. 거의 다 풀다가 나갈 시간이 다 돼서 못했었죠. 그래서 지금은 무슨 상황이냐면 범인을 찍어야 되는 추리 상황인데 단서는 다 모았고요. 어디 갈까? 이거 지금까지 알게 된 것에 기초하여 결론 내기. 근데 이거 뭐야? 이건 살인사건 조사하기가 아직도 있네. 어쨌든 기초하여 결론 내기. 아, 지금까지의 상황을 보면은 펠릭스 소령이 죽었고요. 펠릭스 소령은 이제 카산드라 부인을 좋아하고 있었는데 카산드라 부인을 좋아하는 사람이 여기 또 한 명 있어가지고 라이벌이고요. 그리고 펠릭스 소령은 사업가였는데 여기 노조가 있어요. 노조. 아, 이쪽이 아니고 요렇게다. 요렇게 여기 노조 위원장하고 그의 후원자가 있어서 갈등 상황이고요. 그 다음에 이제 펠릭스 소령이 카산드라를 좋아하긴 하는데 좀 성격이 권위적이고 위압적이라서 이 카산드라인 친구인 마고가 저렇게 여성을 함부로 대하는 남성이랑 내 친구랑 안 된다. 이 교제 반댈세 하면서 이쪽하고도 갈등이 있던 그런 상황이었고요. 아니 원래는 협박 편지 범인을 찾으러 온 거였는데 이게 살인 사건이 나버려가지고 협박 편지는 뒷전이 돼버렸네. 아, 그래서 뭐랑 뭐를 링크를 시켜야 되냐. 알리바이가 서로 3명씩 확인이 돼 있는데 알리바이가 확인이 된 것처럼 보이지만 사실은 확인이 안 된 사람이 있을까? 틈이 있었던 사람? 이거랑 링크를 할 수 있는 게 있나? 뭐 이런 식으로?
This will not get me any closer to my goal.
이런 식으로 찍어봤자 안 되겠죠? 이걸 일단 이렇게 해볼까?
Some would say a
아하!
lucky guess. I would say a moment of...
소련과의 해묵은 과거와 그의 물질적 안녕에 대한 위협이 분명 고의를 형성했을 수도 있다.
I cannot see the logic in this. Come, my little Grace.
요런 아이콘이 안 뜬 사람이 제 키밖에 없긴 한데요. 제 키는 뭐 이게 뭐가 나올 거
Order
건덕지가
and
있나?
method. I must take a dip.
얘는 뭐가 나올 건덕지가 없는 것 같고. 제키는 원치 않게 소령의 오점을 들었다. 이거랑 연결되는 게 있을까? 소령의 오점. 에밀리 형제는 협력할 것으로 보이진 않아.
Is there something?
그건 아니고. 둘이 짜고 알리바이를 조작했다?
I must act.
이건 아니고.
I must take a different approach if I am.
제키는 수호님에 대해 많은 걸 알고 있다?
I must act on.
소령은 노동자 파업에 관여했다? 에르네스토의 카산드라에게 돈을 대주었다?
This will not get me.
마지막 하나의 링크는 뭐를 해야 될까? 자카리아는 기도원을 원망하는데 원망하면서도 뭔가 커버를 쳐주려고 그러고 있고, 근데 대체 뭘 커버를 쳐주려는지 모르겠고. 서로의 동기가 이렇게 연결이 될 수 있나? 에르네스토도 소령의 오점을 듣지 않았을까?
Is there something I am
옆에
not
있었는데
seeing?
안 들었네? 상충되는 태도. 노동자 파업?
Order and method.
협상을 개시하고자 노력했다. 노동자 파업?
Come, my little gracer.
전국끼리 연결해볼까?
I cannot see the logic in this.
오, 뭘까요? 이걸 써야 되나?
I must act act on thought.
근데 지금 이 여기에 나와 있는 것들은 다 동기들인데, 동기, 뭐 심리, 관계 이런 것들인데, 이건 알리바이잖아. 행동이잖아 이건.
Is there something I am not? I cannot see the logic in this.
응.
Order and method. I must take a different.
응.
Come, my little grey cells.
응.
This will not get me any closer to my.
오우씨, 이건 모르겠는데? 아, 근데 이게 지금 추리 막바지인데요? 여기서 힌트를 보기는 좀... 제키는 휴고가 가진 정보를 원했다. 원했어.
I must act on.
하지만 뭐라고 이게 여기 써먹었잖아. 써먹은 걸 또 써먹을 수 있긴 하지만
This will not get me any closer. I must take a diff. Order and method. I cannot see the logic in it.
이 둘을 연결해 버릴까 이렇게? 아, 이거다. 잠깐. 모든 알리바이를 그냥 그러면 이제 어떻게? 링크 시킬 것도 꽝꽝꽝. 이 시간에 누구시죠?
Entrez.
들어오시오.
Detective, I'm sorry I
안젤리네.
did not join you.
Please, mademoiselle.
I was with Maman in her room. She would not allow anyone to see it, but... Do you have any suspicion?
I'm afraid my suspicions, while it seems as though their alibis all corroborate one another,
동기는 다들 있는데 알리바이가 다들
I
있다.
know there was some bad blood between the major and some of the guests, but not enough to kill him, surely. She may seem tough on the exterior, but she's really quite kind when you get to know her.
the Countess, she is...
Don't be silly, detective. She wouldn't hurt a soul. Jacqueline. I assume
Jacqueline?
that's who you were talking about, detective.
둘 사이에 일어난 일?
That is a...
She must have told you about the piece she was writing on us, about Gideon's work.
Somehow that...
That's strange. I thought that is what she would have started the conversation with. Well, she had come to the house
무슨
to interview.
일을
Do you know what...
I'm afraid not, but Felix was quite enraged. He
테이블에
picked
있는
up an envelope
봉투를
from the table
집어들고는
and stormed out,
쿵쾅거리며
slamming the door behind.
And mademoiselle...
She was equally heated in the moment. She had a few choice. Better, thank you, detective.
And
Huh.
it is understandable.
And to
제클린이
me, detective.
원래는 안젤리네를 취재하러 온 거였고
After father's passing,
펠릭스와
it was
무지막지한
almost
논쟁을
over
했다?
for me.
You must try and not think on it like that.
It is easier said than.
I have no doubt, but
I'm sorry, but
it can often be.
it's not that, detective. It's just they have no.
I was under the impression.
That's true. But those invited know each other. Some of them for years. I should.
Oui,
I am.
when and where.
처음엔 손님들이 별로 서로에게 호감이 없다고 생각하고 있었는데 안젤리는 그렇지 않다고 확신하고 있다. 묶어서 살펴봐야겠다. 손님들은 제키는 소련과 한판 싸웠음. 요렇게 여기 두 개가 연결이 되겠죠?
Things are beginning to. I should not be surprised by my.
모든 동기를 확인함. 손님들은 지난 몇 년간 알고 지낸 사이임.
Is there some.
잠깐만. 모든 동기를 확인함, 모든 알리바이를 확인함.
The pieces of.
모든 손님이 의심스러워.
Another sex.
다수의 손님이 용의자일 수 있음. 공범이 이렇게 있을 수가 있다는 거죠. 서로 짜고 알리바이를 해서 덮어주고. 그럼 휴고, 에르네스토, 제키 그룹이 있고 기드원, 자카리아, 마고 그룹이 있는데 어느 쪽일까? 저 밖에는 누구냐? 비밀. 맞아, 이 저택에 비밀의 방이 하나 있어요. 아직 못 찾은 거. 눈발 속에 괴이한 사람 형체. 손님 중 한 명은 나에게 거짓말을 했다. 그런과 협박 편지가 무슨 관련이 있는지. 일단 대화를 나눠볼까?
Good morning, detective.
I'm afraid I did not. I was hoping for at least a moment of pleasant slumber. Finding the Major's killer.
In
어젯밤 눈 속에서 정원에 서 있는 사람의 실루엣을 보았습니다.
that snow. If someone was out there, we'd have another body on our hands.
또 저희 손으로 시신. 아, 소령이 죽었지.
I realize how strange it sounds. I would not believe it myself if I had not seen it with my own eyes.
Staff have reported seeing things in the dark.
어제 엘리베이터 시향을 보지
Our Leslie is
못했습니다만
not well.
As well.
안드보시 부인과 이야기를 나누고 싶군요.
She is currently eating breakfast alone in the dining room.
전화를 좀 써도
I
되겠습니까?
would, but I'm afraid I found this morning. Even if we could,
In that case.
I'll let you know if anything changes.
일실이 되었군. 그러게 시신은
Taken care of. Master Demir and his brother, after sobering up, helped me move him into the cellar.
Très bien.
Was that
Your assistant.
그러면 바깥에를 조사하러 가?
Good morning, detective. I hope you were comfortable last night.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. The room was.
I can't imagine.
Hopefully, guilt will.
I'm sorry.
소령의 지위에 대해서 어떤 감정을 갖고 계셨습니까?
You mean about him living here?
Oui, even.
I enjoyed having him here. When I was away with Gideon, it was comfort.
What can you tell?
서로 사이가 좋지 않았다. 카산드라와 소령이.
He was always quite private about his work.
I found a check.
A development? Oh,
It's...
addressed to...
Pardonnez-moi, mademoiselle.
I'm sorry, detective. I don't understand. Heavens no.
You did not... Merci for your time, mademoiselle.
You...
Exact...
정원으로. 사람 형체. 이게 뭐지? 사라진 발자국? 이건 소룡의 발자국이고, 이건 뭐야?
Aha.
라이터? 떨어뜨렸어? 사람 형체라. 떨어진 세모의 성적?
Huh.
뭔가 단서가 될 만한 게 탈출은 불가능함? 식당으로 처음 들어가 보네요. 왜 서 있지? 앉아 있는 게 아니고?
Bonjour, madame.
Thank you, Detective, but they are not necessary.
I was hoping you...
If
소령을 살해한 이유가 있다면 뭘까요?
I'm sure you're aware, he was not the.
다혈질이라 적을 많이 만들었다.
Temper is
His mouth.
누가 그랬다고
Seeing as I heard
생각하십니까?
Mr. Becker's in what I would
Hugo?
describe as an unnecessarily loud.
You had...
How could I not? The volume they were shouting at.
서재에서 서로 소리를 질러댔다. 오호.
You did not think it fitting to tell me this yesterday?
I didn't think Felix was going to wind up dead and a murderer loose in my house. My apologies, Detective.
소령의 서재에서 발견된 편지.
I assume you are talking about the supposed blackmail letter.
Oui, madame. You know of it?
It arrived shortly after the first. Rather coincidental, if you ask me.
I'm not sure.
He no doubt had secrets hidden away. But do you honestly think Felix
펠릭스가
had
위협할 만한
anything of
가치가
value to
있는
his name
인물이라고
worth?
생각하나?
Perhaps you should enlighten me.
Well, he was here, living in my house, eating my food,
아하,
prepared by my
가난하다 이
staff.
말이지.
Does that answer your question, Detective? I wouldn't put it past him to have written it himself in the hopes of getting some
동정을 얻기를 바라면서
sympathy from
스스로 편지를 썼을 가능성.
And the other...
He probably wrote those too. If Angeline paid the first, that would have given him the money to pay the second letter. He is the White Knight, saves the day, and expects to live here happily ever after.
아, 시바시에
To
대해서.
have been friend...
If you are trying to insinuate that Mr. De Silva and
Oui, I understand they... Merci.
음,
Oh. Aha.
그런 건 없네.
Oh. Bonjour, madame. You must be the wonderful.
야, 근데 겨울인데 채소가 참 많네요.
Wonderful and modest, sir. I am Rihanna.
My taste buds thank you for the.
Glad to hear it, sir.
S'il te plaît, madame.
In that case, mademoiselle is fine for me.
Très bon, mademoiselle.
That's right. I've seen staff come and go, but a house always needs.
I agree. But if.
Not a bad thing.
Well,
I did. Monsieur Archie told me what had happened.
컬린 씨는 소령이 얼음을 요청했다고 했는데
how was the.
Grumpy.
I suppose one would not take kind.
But
I shall not.
여기서 일단 연결을 해볼까? 아유, ASD님 반가워요. 우리는 지금 아가사 크리스티 에르큐얼 포아로 퍼스트 케이시스라는 게임을 하고 있어요. 네, 새해 복 많이 받으세요. 뭐랑 뭐를 연결해야 되지? 뭐랑 뭐를 연결을 해? 그게 제일 유명하죠. 정작 설로 읽어본 적은 없는데 나는. 얼음을
What a revelation!
안젤리네는 소령에게 애착이 있다. 소령은 빈수레다.
Come, my little Grace.
기드온이 돈을 지불했다. 이 두 개를 연결해볼까?
I cannot see the
안
logic
되네.
in it. Order and method.
이건 아닌가? 음, 음, 음. 이렇게 연결해볼까?
I must take a different.
안 되고.
Come, my little Grace.
어이,
This will not get. Is there something I have? must act on.
연결할 게 하나가 남아있는데 뭘 연결해야 될지 상상도 안 가네 지금?
I must take a different approach. I cannot see the logic. Is there something?
그나마 연결거리가 있는 거는 요 둘... 이거 안 했네?
I should not be
이걸 안
surprised by
했구만.
my own skills of deduction.
상충하는 의견. 안젤리와 카산드라는 소령에 대해 서로 다른 인상을 받았다. 자, 나가볼까요? 소령을 죽인 사람은 누구인가? 안젤리네가 여기 있었지.
Is there something I can help?
어머니께서는 소령과의 우정을 그다지 긍정적인 관점에서 설명하지 않으셨습니다만
You have got the wrong end of the stick, detective.
오해하신 거예요,
Mama has
탐정님.
snapped at him recently, but it was nothing more than that.
오해 수준이 아니던데.
It was something to do with the letter. I heard them in the library before Maman shouted.
도서관에서
and stormed out of the room.
엄마의 고함이 들린 다음에 화를 내며 방을 내서는 펠릭스 씨와 마주쳤다.
Could it have been the...
Why would Maman be a...
Madame is of a very different opinion from yourself.
소령이 편지의
regarding the
작성자라고
connection of the
여기고
letters.
계십니다.
That is what she told you? She has always been one to make a quick, if not rash decision, but
소령은 아가씨가 첫 번째 협박 편지에 돈을 지불했다는 것을 알았습니까?
I don't recall telling him directly.
Madame believes he may have been behind all the letters, and taking your payment of the first, then used it to pay the second and be the hero.
I never knew Maman had...
That is a question I was...
You have met him? Do you really...
It is a plan only the most crooked... I shall not keep you any...
자, 그 다음에 누구하고 얘기를 해봐야 되나? 이돈.
Bonjour, Monsieur Demire.
Detective Poirot.
The truth, Monsieur. With each step towards an...
시신을 옮겨달라고
Archibald
했는데
came to me and asked for my help in the...
Merci for your help.
It's a job that had to be done. Although it may have
형이
affected my
충격을 받은 것
brother
같았다?
and I.
How...
At the...
시신을 보자마자 핏기가 가셨다? PTSD가 왔나?
Felix and Madame Vandenbosch are the only ones with keys, as far as I'm aware. Oh, and Archibald. I'm sure I heard Felix asking him to return something to it once.
뭔가를 다시 갖다 놓으라 한 것을 들었다.
I have not seen him since last... He does not need his younger...
Perhaps that is a...
I'm not sure what he told you yet.
I worry that may not be the case, Monsieur.
He's still...
Countess, I...
That is it, detective? No small talk? No inflating...
I am afraid not, Countess. With a murder...
Well then, detective...
Comment?
I thought you might like to know what I
그러면
found on
시신에서
the major's
발견을 해?
That certainly piqued your interest.
A man has been murdered, and you find it acceptable to...
Oh, please, detective. Do you really think so little of me? Archibald asked for my assistance.
It was not his place to grant you
I shall remember to keep my assistance to myself next time.
뭘
A
발견하셨습니까?
single stab wound, which you no doubt already knew.
용의자가 피해자를 조사하다니.
Judging by the depth of the wound, I would say there was no great force put into the strike. More a sign of defense than attack. If I had to say what weapon was used...
I understand it may be difficult for one to keep such information to yourself. S'il vous plaît, Comtesse. Ah.
용의자가 시체를 조사할 수 있으면은 증거를 은폐할 수도 있는 거니까요. 그럼 뭘 해야 되나? 또 링크가 생겼네? 어디 보자. 기도는 아치볼드가 근거를 열 수 있다 주장했다. 자카리아는 전쟁 후 정신과 치료를 받았다. 자카리아는 소령의 시체를 보고 충격을 받았다. 이 두 개가 연결될 것 같은데?
What a revelation.
자카리아는 PTSD가 있다. 하나는 또 뭐지? 안젤리네는 소령의 협박 편지에 대한 카산드라의 추의 의문을 제기한다. 카산드라는 소령과 불화가 있었다.
I must
이거 아니야?
act on thought and
이거 아니다. 카산드라는 안젤리네가 모르는 것을 알고 있는 것이 아닐까? 아치볼드는 마고에게 시신 검사를 부탁했다.
Come, my little grey cell.
여기서 하나를 연결을 시켜야 되는데.
This will not get order and method. I must act on thought. This will not get me. Is there some... I must take a different...
이거 두 개는 안 됐고.
Come, my little grey...
이렇게?
I cannot see the logic in this. Order and method.
지금 링크를 시켜야 되는 게 하나가 있는데 하나가 뭔지를 모르겠네요. 이 두 개를 써먹어야 될 텐데. 이거 서로 연결되는 건 아니고. 아, 웬만한 건 다 해봤는데 지금? 이거 말이 안 되지. 웬만한 거 다 해봤는데?
I must take a different Sounds
Eh!
a lucky guess.
이게 왜 이렇게 되지? 카산드라는 소령과 불화가 있었음. 이두은이 돈을 지불함. 협박 편지가 그들의 관계에 생각보다 더 큰 영향을 미쳤는지 궁금하다. 어떻게 이렇게 연결되냐?
Whatever you need.
Your assistant.
Is there something I can...
협박 편지의 도착이 부인과 소령의 관계에 긴장을 불러일으켰으니
Had been that way for some time. Maman is not
더
fulfilling
오래됐다.
her
최근 몇 달간 사이가 안 좋다.
What gave?
There was not one particular thing that she expressed.
어투 말하는 방식이 바뀐다.
I shall not.
이게 끝이야? 누군가 대화하기?
If it will help you,
형님이 정신과
when
지금
he returned from the war,
I cannot speak from experience.
the first weeks he would wake in the night, screaming.
That is not why.
And not at all, detective. We were always very different in nature.
And yet he ended.
Our father demanded that he at least try. It wasn't long before he moved out from the family home after his.
소령의 서재에 서재로 갑시다.
Whatever you need, detective. Certainly, detective.
누군가 들쑤셨다? 어이구 이게 뭐야? 금고가 열려있잖아.
Aha.
소령은 거액의 대출을 받았다. 천문학적인 액수.
Oh.
반송 주소가 없는 편지.
Aha.
누가 보냈는지 모른다는 거죠? 사진. 한덴보 씨 부인을 설득하는 방법. 어머니와 딸이 무척 닮았다. 근데 반이 찢어져 있네? 죽은 남편 쪽을 찢어버렸네? 왜 저랬을까? 소령과 제작 사이의 적대감? 공해진 편지?
Oh.
자물쇠 주변에 긁힌 자국? 소령이 판덴보 씨에게 부인에게 보내는 반쯤 봉인된 편지. 사랑하는 카산드라. 옛날에 쓴 것 같은데? 안젤리네가 얼마나 아름다운 젊은 아가씨로 자라는지 보고 싶어 견딜 수가 없다. 어우, 장난 아니네.
I cannot see the logic in this. I must act on. This will not get me in.
그래. 이걸 보내진 않았지. 맞아.
grace. The pieces of the...
소령은 협박 편지에서 요구하는 금액을 지불함. 아, 이 대출을 해서 지불을 했다고? 공개될 것이 두려웠던 건 고치지 않은
I
편지?
cannot see the logic
이게
in this.
아닌가? 그렇다면 사랑 고백?
This
아, 이것도
will not
아니야?
get-
그렇다면 자작과 뭔가 있었나? 아,
I
이것도
must
아니야?
act- I must take a
아, 이것도 아니야? 이것도 아니네? 카산드라와 소룡의 관계 문제?
order and method. Is there some... Come, my little grace. Is there something I have...
돈 빌려달라고 그랬나?
Come, my little I cannot see the logic in this. This will not get me.
R 이거를 뭐 써먹어야 되는 것 같은데? 왜?
I must act on...
안 됐다고?
I must take a different... Order and method. Order and method. This will not get me.
이게 연관이 된다면 연관이 되는 거지만 뭔가 새로운 단서가 나오는 거를 연결해야 되는 거니까 어디 보자. 카산드라나 안젤리네가 모르는 것을 알고 있는 것이 아닐까? 사랑을 고백했다.
Is there something I
이거
have...
아니야? 붙이지 않은 편지를 알고 있었다. 그게 말이 돼? 안 붙였는데?
I cannot see the logic in this.
안젤리네와 카산드라?
I must act on...
야, 왜 연결되는 게 없지? 왜 없지? 아, 여기 뭐가 또 있구나!
I must take a different...
빈봉투 소령 앞으로 온 편지. 이거는 어디다 연결해야 되나? 같은 성격의 협박 편지였을까? 휴고?
Come, my little grey cells.
이거는 어디로 연결해야 되냐? 협박 편지가 멍친 관계?
This will not get...
여기 뭐가 또 있잖아. 자카리아는 전쟁 공포증에 시달림. 저거 완전 다른 얘긴데? 소령 앞으로 온 편지인데 반송 주소가 없다.
I must take a different... I must act...
찢어진 봉투 다혈질?
I cannot see the logic.
다혈질에서 찢었다? 그건 아니네요. 소령은 빈술에?
method. Come, my little Grace.
이 둘이 서로 연결되는 건 아니오. 이건 모르겠다. 야, 이렇게까지 했는데 모르겠네.
Is there some...
그러면은 최후의 방법을 써야죠. 힌트 보기. 에? 안젤리네는 소령에게 애착이 있음? 그리고 이 사진을 연결하라고?
Another success. I never doubted myself.
이게 이렇게 돼? 이게 이렇게 된다고? 저긴가?
Magnifique.
소령이 협박 편지를 조작했을까? 하지만 소령은 협박 편지에서 오는 요구 금액을 지불했는데?
Things are beginning to...
목표 완료. 저 금고는 누가 열었을까요?
Detective Poirot, I have been asked to inform you that Lady...
Merci.
They may not be the exact words she used.
꼭대기층을 조사해야 된다. 창고방이 어딘데? 나 꼭대기층 지금 처음 오는데? 해산들의 침실 여긴 아니고?
Ah. Oh. Huh. Huh.
왠지 문이 있을 것 같은 곳인데 여기?
Ah.
창고. 어린이 장난감. 완벽한 상태. 안젤리네의 것인 것 같다. 최종 시계. 책.
Ah.
수도 없이 애독한 책인 것 같다. 어린이들에게. 아, 소령이 안젤리네에게 선물했던 책이네요. 오우. 여기서 링크 시킬 게 하나밖에 없다고? 단 하나? 이 애착은 거의 아버지 수준이라고 아니면 삼촌 느낌? 그런 느낌인 것 같고요. 이거 뭘 연결해야 돼? 잠깐만. 안젤린의 진짜 아빠가 소령인가? 그래서 저기 찢어져 있나? 저거 찢어진 쪽에 있는 게 사실 자기 아니야? 그건 아니겠죠. 여기 자작의 모습이 찢겨나감이라고 돼 있으니까. 그럼 비밀이라는 게 이게 카산드라와 펠릭스 소령 사이에서 나온 자식이 안젤리네다라고 하면은 해결이 되지. 정말 완벽한 비밀이야. 숨겨야 되는 엄청난 비밀이다. 그거 같아요. 내 모든 사랑을 닮아? 못하나고요. 그래, 그거 같아.
I must take a different. I cannot
근데
see the
뭐랑
logic.
뭐를 연결해야 되냐?
This will not
그게
get.
문제네요. 뭐랑 뭐를 엥? 고금리? 이거랑 이거를 연결하라고?
Magnifique.
왜? 왜 또 고금리야? 소령은 판데보시 저택에서 여러 해 동안 편안히 살아온 것 같다. 안젤리네와 대화하기. 거기서 그런 결론이 나오냐? 안젤리네와 대화를 하려면 내려가야죠. 펠릭스가 카산드라하고 짝짝꿍을 해서
Detective Poirot, are you any closer to uncovering the truth of Felix's involvement? with
아리아리랑
the others?
쓰리쓰리랑 해서 나온 게 너 안젤리네 아라리라고?
I am, mademoiselle. I can confirm that he was not the author of the blackmail letters.
So the author is still out there.
Oui, but it will not.
손님들에 대해 말씀해 주신 것이 머릿속을 떠나지 않더군요.
I'm sorry, Detective.
No apology is required. It actually
공모를 했다면?
Oh my, Detective.
every guest has a motive. You confirmed that with the
But not you.
창고방을 수색하던 도중에 소령이 아가씨께 보내는 선물로 보이는 책을 발견했습니다.
I haven't seen that book in so long. Yes, it was a gift for my 10th.
It sounds as though there is a side.
예전에는 작은 여행 기념품을 가져다 주곤 했다. 책과 함께 있던 장난감들도 소령의 선물이었나요?
They were. I'm afraid they may have gathered some dust being.
It sounds as though he had.
아버지가 돌아가신 후에 그가 집에 머무는 것이 위안이래요. 소령이 어머님을 지원해 주셨다고 어젯밤에
That's
말씀하셨죠.
right. Ever since I.
It seems as though she has a number of support.
Maman has many friends. I know how she may seem.
There is a.
Oh,
Forgive me, madam.
it's quite alright. You're not the only one that feels a razor tongue. She's great.
백작 부인과 어제 얘기해본 바로는 소령에 대해 좋은 평을
They
하지는
have often
않더군요.
come to blows when it concerns Maman.
She spoke of his desire to.
This isn't the first time.
And
I will not deny he has shown interest in Maman's social circles.
소령이 되게 많은 기여를 했습니까?
What do you
I imagine a house of this. I shall not.
판덴보시 부인에게 압박을 할 모든 수단을 갖추었다? 그럼 난 뭘 해야 되니? 그런 대사를 봤으니 판덴보시 부인에게 가야겠지? 들어간다. 안녕하신가. 안젤리네는 누구야 이지?
Detective Poirot, what do you think you are doing?
I have.
Well, I hope it is important.
I assure you,
Good, because this has gone on far too long.
I can understand your frustration.
You were once an incompetent.
If I was not being lied to and misled at every.
I hope you are not
I am suggesting that if I.
발견한 편지에 대해 여쭤보고
I'm
싶습니다만
sure he has hundreds of letters in there. Most
I refer to the letter.
로맨틱한 성격
Please, detective.
He made his intentions quite clear in the letter.
저조차도 놀랐습니다.
You really do have quite the active imagination.
소룡이 따님과 그렇게 가깝게 지냈는지 몰랐습니다.
We met before Angeline was born, so he was often at the house when she was growing up.
안젤리네가 태어나기 전에 만났다.
Where was it you two met?
I was attending an event.
So it was not through the Vice.
자장님을 통한 것이 아니었다.
I did not require my...
It was you that.
그렇게 시작된 것이군요. 오인이 되신 자장님과 소룡은 물론 친구 사이셨겠지요?
Edwin spent much of his time away on business before Angeline was born. Felix was a...
You were alone.
집에 혼자 계셨다고요?
The staff continued their duties, of course.
And when Angeline.
Edwin remained at home. It was his...
And the.
He had his own business and life to tend to. But we remained in touch via...
자작의 죽음은 공교롭게도 소룡의 귀한 시기와 일치한다.
I think that is all.
근데 자작이 죽고 나서 생활이 어려워졌잖아.
Aha. Oh.
소룡한테 속았다고 생각해서 쌀쌀맞게 대하는 걸까? 새로 나온 게 10살 생일 선물. 그리고 판덴보시 부인은 소룡을 곁에 두었음. 소룡은 집안에 재정적 도움을 주지 않음. 지난 생일 선물. 소룡은 자작의 사망 이후로 돌아옴. 카산드라는 소룡의 사랑을 부정함. 카산드라는 안젤리니가 태어나기 전 소룡을 만남. 일단 이 두 개를 연결해볼까?
Come, my little great.
아니네. 불륜의 냄새가 풀풀 나는데 연결을 어떤 거를 해야 될지 모르겠네요.
I must act on thought.
연결을 어떻게 해야 될지.
Is there some?
응? 뭐야, 왜 세 개가 반짝거려? 네 개. 소룡의 사랑을 부정함? 안젤리네와
I should
카산드라?
not be surprised.
소룡은 카산드라에게 마음을 썼다.
The pieces of the pup.
자작이 세상을 뜨자 소룡은 안젤리네 아버지처럼 굴었다. 멜린 반가워요. 지금 꽤 많이 왔는데 안젤리네가 카산드라와 이 펠릭스 소룡의 불륜으로 태어난 아이일 수 있겠다 라는 의심이 드는 시점까지 왔어요. 그리고 바로 그것이 협박범이 협박한 그 비밀의 내용이다. 그런 심증의 단계까지 왔어요. 심증인데
Is this really necessary?
부인 말씀대로 소령이 부인께 연애 감정을 품지 않았다면 왜 사진을 간직하고 있었을까요?
He may have stayed in my home, but Felix
그가
was a
무슨
grown
걸
man,
간직하고
detective.
있든 간에 나와는
Was it
아무런 상관이 없네.
hidden or-
But it does not surprise you
놀랍지
that you had such a
않으십니까?
photograph?
그것도 자작 쪽은 찢겨져 있던데요.
We have been friends, and he has been there for Angeline for many years.
What I do find strange is that if he
그가
did
부인에게
hold the
연심을
flame
품었다면
for
왜
you,
한 번도 표현하지 않았을까 하는 것입니다.
If he did, it was not reciprocated.
절대로
I have
긍정적인
not
답을
even
받을 수 없을
considered
테니까
another since my
아니지.
husband's passing.
이미
Not that it is any of your business.
결실이 눈앞에 있기 때문이지.
I think that is
어? 애가 있는데 뭘 연심을 표현하고 말고가 뭐가 있어. 완벽하게 연결이 됐죠? 어디 보자. 카산드라는 소룡에게 연애 감정이 없음. 진짜? 이거를 어디다가 연결을 해야 되는데
What a revelation.
이게 왜 연결이 되냐? 연애 감정이 없음? 소룡은 집안에 재정적 도움을 주지 않음? 카산드라는 소룡에게 마음을 쓴.
Is this
소룡을 몇 년 동안 댁에 머무르게 해주셨더군요. 가정에 기여한 바가 별로 없음에도 불구하고요. 플라토닉한 우정이라고요.
who I allow in my house is none.
I did not think you were.
I would not expect you to think much of any.
쉽게 정보를 내놓으려 하지 않으면 그것이 유일한 방법. 압박을 해야 될 수도 있다.
He was a man that required no protection, detective.
That is the impression I had.
You're
반감을 보이며 이거 너무 세게 하는 거 아닌가?
your continued probing.
안
There is
되네.
no.
되는 건가? 단도직입적으로 힘주어 계속 제 질문에 답변을 꺼리시니 두 분이 사랑이란 감정을 나눈 사이라고 믿게 되네요. 점점점
Madame, you continue to
진실을
withhold
숨기고
the truth.
계시는군요.
And you continue to get on my last nerve.
But when it impedes,
If only you were this focused on.
Madame,
Very well. I did not lie about how we met. I was attending an event raising money for. Oh, I cannot recall. It had been some time since I had returned home. He was a warm reminder. of
파티에서
home,
만나서
and I enjoyed conversing. I shall go no further with the details, but I will say. I had
그렇지.
no intention on being unfaithful to my husband. It was
근데 아이가
never
누구
of
아이인가?
that.
the Viscount never.
In his mind, he had no reason to. And he
그렇지.
shouldn't have had to. It was my mistake to bear. I told Felix that he was to stay away, but he had no intention to.
그래.
I could not
소룡하고
tell her the
애네.
And
truth.
what were the?
He
그래서 펠릭스가 기도원과 안젤리네 결혼에 반대하고 막 그랬구나. 자기가 아빠니까. 아이씨. 에이.
I tried to retrieve them from the safe after everyone had retired last night. But when I opened the safe, they were nowhere to be
금고를
found.
열었을 때는
I
온데간데
assumed he
없었다.
must have.
When I entered the study this morning, they were at.
I would appreciate, but that does mean Someone else in the house has seen them. I don't understand. Why would they return them?
누군가 그 협박 아니 카산 저그 자작 찢겨진 편지도 아니 사진도 받고 편지도 받고 카산드라와 펠릭스의 과거를 유추할 수 있는 그 모든 그 증거물들을 다 봤는데 안 가져가고 돌려놓았다.
A mystery that
왜 그랬을까?
It must.
and
Felix promised me he wouldn't tell it.
you did not think anyone knew. I think that is all.
어쨌든 협박의 내용은 확실히 알았네요. 근데 그러면 협박범은 누구야? 이게 진짜 엄청난 비밀인데 이거를 누구한테 나불나불 댈 그게 아닌데 이게 이걸 누가 알았을까요? 어떻게 협박을 당했을까? 그리고 소령을 누가 죽였지? 근데 저기 마고 백작 부인이 자기 맘대로 부검을 했을 때 소령이 죽은 것은 공격을 당했다기보다는 그러니까 소령이 먼저 공격을 하고 범인이 그 소령의 공격에 방어를 하다가 방어 동작에 의해서 소령이 역으로 찔린 것 같다 이런 얘기를 했거든요. 자 이제 어디로 가야 되냐? 모르겠어. 일단 나가자. 협박범과 무기를 찾아야 돼. 흉기. 너 왜 여기 있어?
Detective Poirot, how is your investigation coming?
Monsieur Sterling, I must admit,
You'll be...
one has never finished learning,
It might help to...
Monsieur,
Right.
I shall reveal all once everyone is
어?
together.
흉기를 발견 못했는데? 제 6장. 잠깐 화장실 좀 갔다 올게요. 에이야. 자동으로 간다.
Detective, what is the meaning of all this?
탐정 이게 대체 무슨 의미가 있지? 잠깐
I ask
화장실
that you
가려고
all
그랬는데.
lend me your ears for only a few moments. What I have to say is of great significance to everyone. You are all invited here to celebrate the engagement
자동으로
of
진행되면
Mademoiselle
어떡해.
Angeline Vandenbosch and Monsieur
여러분은
Guillaume
약혼식의 하객으로 초대받으셨지요.
together of two prevalent families. But the celebrations were short-lived.
하지만 펠릭스 하겐 소령이 죽었기 때문에 축하회는 끝나고 말았지.
By a young servant of the house. It then became my responsibility and obligation as a detective to uncover the truth behind his demise. My initial examination of his study
소령의
exposed a
서재를
number of
최초
things I
감식한
did not
결과
expect to
예상치
find.
못한 많은 것이
Things
드러나
I have no desire to divulge at this time, but what I can say is this. It was no
단순한 살인
simple
사건이
murder.
아니다.
A letter demanding ransom for a continued silence confirmed this. I am sure some, if not all of you, have heard whispers of a series of blackmails that have plagued the social elite in recent weeks. After hearing of the letters in the major study, you may ask if it was him behind the letters. You may further ask if he was preparing his next threat to another unsuspecting victim. It is a question that crossed even my mind. That was until I sought the truth.
사실 그는 미지의
That in fact it was the
편지범의
major
희생자가
that
된
had fallen
것이었어.
victim to our blackmailer mystérieux. Last night I spoke with you all, confirmed your whereabouts in the house over the course of the evening, and while I would have expected such questioning to reveal a potential
에?
suspect,
여러분 중 한 명이
what I
아니라고?
learned was that it could not have been one of you.
What do you mean, not one of us? The man was stabbed. He hardly did that to himself. There is still a killer in the house.
Pardon, monsieur. If you
정당방위라고
would allow me to
말하려고 그러나?
finish,
한 사람일 수
not
없다고?
have
아이씨.
been only one of you.
사람 헷갈리게 하네.
Rather a partnership in cahoots, if you will. Conversations today have revealed facts that I was not expecting to discover. And although they may have muddied and complicated my investigation, what I must do to bring the guilty parties to justice has become clearer. Those of you that spun stories in an attempt to confuse and derail my investigation have made a grave mistake in underestimating my intelligence. Other detectives may fall for such deception, but I can assure you, Detective Poirot is no such fool. My investigation is far from over, and swift justice shall be dealt to those that have committed such appalling acts and have continued to mislead and lie to protect themselves. Now, I must continue mon enquête, and I shall leave you to consider that you may be beside a cold-hearted killer. Bonsoir. Monsieur Sterling, un moment.
Quite the speech, detective.
아, 이제 화장실을 좀 갔다 올게요. 자, 대단한 연설이었습니다, 탐정님.
Merci, but it was not made to entertain.
경고를 위한
Not to
것입니다.
warn.
Well, if there is anything.
손님들의 침실을 수색해보고 싶다. 아니, 요거보다 백작 부인과 관련해서 반드시 논의해야 될 문제가 있다.
I should have said the smoke.
Monsieur, I am not quite...
I am well aware, detective.
Would you allow a man with a smoking gun to remove his bullet from a victim's chest?
I suppose not.
뭔가 달라진 점을 느끼지 못하셨습니까?
But I was so.
Perhaps it would...
Maybe one of the guests.
어제 금고를 열 수 있는 사람은 누가 있습니까?
Master Hagen had a key, obviously.
하겐날이
And Lady
vandenbosch 부인. 하겐의 시체에서 뺄 수 있겠네요, 열쇠를. 아치볼드에게도 복사된 열쇠가 있다고 확신했다. 금고와 관련해서 아치볼드 씨는 내용을 보신 적이
When
있습니까?
requested, aye. If something is required from there when Master Hagen is not around.
요청을 받으면?
Forgive me. If...
It's not what.
What I think is that you have...
I only lied because of the trouble.
At this moment, monsieur, you should be more worried about the trouble you shall find yourself in with the law.
I know how it will sound,
열쇠를 잃어버렸죠.
but I lost my key. I must have set it down some. Is that?
The murderer remains at large.
Of course.
It may be hard to... I would like to begin my search.
I may not be back when you return.
Merci.
두두둔. 어우, 되게 기네. 이 사건 하나로 게임이 끝날 것 같아요. 이렇게 길어버리면. 어디부터? 마고의 침실.
Entrez.
대화부터 한다.
Detective, what a pleasure.
I did not expect to see you in my chambers.
In a purely professional...
There is no need to act.
Madame, after the revelation of your actions last night,
I will not.
어제 젊은 하인 중 한 명과 대화하시는 것을 보았습니다만
Inga. She has been one of the most.
Madame Vandenbosch took in a young lady.
There is no need to sound so.
I did not mean to sound so cruel. I just did not expect...
People change, detective.
예.
You should not.
아,
judge
음성을
someone
완전히
for their
프랑스어로 할
past
수도 있어요.
actions.
음성 선택하는 게 몇 개 있거든요.
Believe me, Countess. I know that only...
Be careful.
It is your actions in this house that have been questionable, Madame.
We do what we. We wouldn't be doing a very good job if I could only help one girl.
아칠바시 댁에도 한여 일자리 하나를
She
찾아주었답니다.
has fitted into...
What is better, detective? That she remained in an abusive house, or she is able.
When put like that...
The happiest she has.
Merci, Madame.
어디에? 여기 옵션에서 지금은 못하네? 메인 메뉴 옵션에선 할 수 있거든요. 어쨌든 추금기 음악이 나오네. 책 로맨스 소설 피아노도 있고 벽난로
Ah.
배종시계 구급 상자
Aha.
새 대화 잠금 해제 오라미
Oh.
창문
Oh.
식물 구급 상자가
Go
있는데요.
ahead. A compliment and now an apology.
There was something I was...
From my date.
If that is so, why would you have brought several pieces of equipment usually found in a physician's bag?
외과 의사 장비를 왜 가져오셨나요?
One must always be prepared, detective.
만약에 대비를 하기 위해서?
Prepared?
약혼식에서요?
If I had not brought them, I would not.
항상 가지고 다닌다고? 외과 의사 장비를? 대단하네. 항상 신중한 제클린 콘레드 양이다. 어우, 어깨에 뽕 좀 봐.
Detective, what can I do for you?
Mademoiselle, I am sure you understand my reasoning for such
If it's going to clear my name, be my guest.
If you wouldn't mind...
Like I said, he's not the man he wants everyone to think he is.
Oui. But how is it you came to that conclusion?
You don't really want me to recount every conversation I've had.
There is one...
설전에 대해서
An argument would imply it was a two-way conversation.
And that is not how it was?
Here it is. I've been helping Angeline get exposure, her marriage to Gideon is big news, and his work is really paving the way for others.
기도원과 안젤리네의 결혼을 뉴스에 내려고 그랬는데 호령은 좋아하진 않았다.
What was there not to like?
왜 그랬을까?
Your guess is as good as mine, detective. But if I had to, I'd say he was jealous it wasn't his name at the top.
And his reason to storm off?
화를 내며 나간
I don't
이유는
know about that. Let's just say I didn't accept his pathetic attempt to
돈으로
get him to
기사를
stop the
막으려
story.
그랬다.
If you're
안젤리네 양의 성공이 알려지지를 원치 않는 이유가 더 있을 것이다? 오호.
You've really got a fascination with that guy.
I would not say fascination.
Well, I'll save you the bother of trying to find out more about him.
That is not the impression.
That's because you've only seen the side of him he wants you to. Let me guess. The first thing he told you was that he was
A man that is proud of.
Don't get me wrong, he has a way with words, and he can certainly rally a crowd.
Merci.
Sure thing, Detective. And if you...
If I do change.
어디? 여기도 추궁기가 있네. 신문. 에르네스토의 공장에서 일어난 폭동에 관하여. 평화적 파업 중 전선에서의 폭력 사태 발발로 인한 인명 피해 발생. 목숨을 잃은 노동자가 8명이나? 주머니 칼?
아하. 하.
오늘 타자기를 갖고 다니네요.
오.
벨베티크를 떠나는 아티그시 포착. 그게 누군데? 껑브흐 위회 주변 토지에서 멧돼지 사슴 오리 빌려. 몬테 부인은 본인 집 안방 침대에 남편이 젊은 하녀와 누워있는 것을 발견.
하.
새로운 대화.
Go right...
아셀바티와 소령이 함께 일했다는 것을 알고 놀랐습니다.
All Felix cared about was money. And
The major was not in.
as far as I know, De Silva hired him to work security.
And your reporters were there.
My reporters go where they're...
And you predicted?
Anyone could see that was gonna happen.
Merci.
이 정도. 자, 다음 사람. 안젤리네 양과 기도은 씨의 방에 왔다. 기도은의 방은 깨끗하다. 사용한 흔적이 없다는 뜻이냐? 정리정돈을 잘한다는 뜻이냐?
오.
사진? 기도은과 자카리아가 서로 같이 찍은 사진.
아하. 아. 오.
별게 없는데? 아, 여기를 못 가? 막혔어. 갈 수가 없어. 저길 못 가냐? 여기 뭐가 들어있는 거죠? 이 노란 거 뭐야? 옷인가? 잠잘 때 입는 가운 같은 건가? 어쨌든 여기 뭐 볼 게 없네요? 공편방으로 간다. 넌 왜 여기 서 있니?
Mademoiselle.
Bonjour, Monsieur Poirot. Pardon.
Just
소룡의 시신을 발견한 사람이
I
당신이죠?
was taking him a plate of food.
음식을 가져다 드렸는데 대답이
You
없어서요.
then entered.
I did. He was not moving. He just lay there.
I did not mean to upset you again. Seeing him there would be.
I suppose we were like a family.
You must all.
Some more than others.
You refer to who?
특별히
Maman Hay, sorry, Rihanna. She's been here the longest, and she's very close with Lizzie on account of.
레하나와 엘리자베스가 친하다.
Maman Hay is Luke's sister.
아, 레하나가 루크의 누나라고? 아, 그래? 그랬어?
I thought she would have said. She talks about him all the time. Apparently, he was right at the front when they were charged.
폭동?
They didn't
습격?
stand a chance.
이건 또 뭐야?
Mademoiselle Rihanna.
복수?
Maman Ray. She has.
Every time she talks about. I guess you wouldn't know anything about
It is not an experience I have had to face personally.
the lifestyle of a thief, you mean?
Put rather bluntly.
You are the first officer that has not taken one look at me.
Mademoiselle, I can see you have turned your life around.
Without the Countess, I would probably.
Merci.
인가가 뭔가를 숨기고 있는 게 있다? 이 집 왜 이래 문제가 많아?
Monsieur Demir.
Nothing a good night's sleep couldn't fix.
Très bien.
Whatever you. I lost my taste for death a long time ago.
Most understandable.
You've spoke.
Perhaps that.
Yeah, maybe. I bet he had a lot to say.
When I say your past, it seems you both had the same sentiment for this party.
We'll see how probable that reconstruction is going.
What is there for him to under?
He lost his friends in the war, the same as everyone. But somehow he has forgiven. I'm sorry, Detective, I can't. And Gideon just doesn't understand that.
자카리아는 전우들의 죽음이 그를 짓누르고 있다.
Those two, close.
They must share something in common.
If there is one thing I know about my brother, it's that he will not.
Was it not your brother that punched?
Ah, that's different. He was asking for it. If you put my brother in a room with 5 socialites like...
Merci.
자, 자카리아의 방, 담배꽁초. 이놈의 벽난로. 무시할 수도 없고. 의장용 단검.
Oh.
흉기인가? 뭐 특별한 건 없네.
Always got the dagger. I wondered how long it would take for that to become an issue.
I shall give you the opportunity to explain.
It was going to be a wedding gift for Gideon. I've maybe not.
의장용 단검을 선물로 주려고 가져온 것이다.
I thought this could make up for.
의장용이면 좀 화려하겠죠.
After what happened to the major, I thought it was a bit.
센스 없는 선물이 되겠다고 생각해서.
You did not see it fit.
I wouldn't say harboring, and I wasn't expecting to be a suspect in a murder.
Merci.
베커스 씨의 방이다. 방에 없다? 그럼 어딨어? 아, 노조위원장. 휴고의 노트 안에는 에르네스토와의 회의에 관해서 급하게 써갈긴 흔적이 있다. 에르네스토하고 회의를 해서? 하긴 노조 위원장하고 사업가니까 회의라기보다는 협상이겠죠. 어떤 종류의 연설을 쓰려던 것 같지만 실패한 것이 틀림없다. 쓰다가 지웠네요. 당신은 저항하는 사람들의 결기를 가소평가하고 있다. 다 지웠네 결국.
아하. 하. 아.
사진? 휴고에게 형제가 많다? 그거밖에 없어. 아, 실바시의 방이다.
Monsieur de Silva,
Not really, Detective.
I have not had my abilities questioned to my...
Well, if you wish to prove...
And
반덴보시 부인이 고인된 남편분과 선생님이 함께 하시던 일에 대해 말씀하셨습니다만
Yes, I helped him invest some money.
투자를 도왔지.
Unfortunately, he was not the bit...
Madame Vandenbosch had a very similar view. At least he could...
I think you're confused, Detective.
Forgive my naivete.
I told him about the opportunities. I did not tell him to put his whole family's wealth into it. The prospect of doing good meant more to him than his profit
너무 한
margins.
방에 꼬라박았다.
He was bound to fail.
The business...
It did, until it was purchased for a... Everything that I want to say...
I understand, monsieur. But what I would like to know is... What...
Excuse me, Detective, but you have crossed the line.
Cross the line like an attempt to bankrupt a business partner and friend so that you'll be able to...
You make such ridiculous accusations without a shred of proof.
Your reaction at the mere suggestion is proof enough, monsieur. While I cannot arrest you for betrayal of a friend, I can hope your conscience does not forget, and that will be punishment enough.
오. 소룡의 재정 상태를 알고
He didn't
계십니까?
have much to speak of. I was always surprised at the life he lived.
Surprised in...
Well, considering it wasn't that...
You offered him a...
Nothing that he was willing to lower himself to. If you can call what him and his team did security. For the money I paid, I did not expect them to be sold.
It was a...
There's no need to divulge amount.
왜 소룡에게 더 관대한 계약 조건을 허락했을까?
He said they were all professionals, but I saw nothing of the sort.
But that was not...
I had not even met them before they arrived on site.
And this equipment. It included the weapons that injured and
보안
killed
팀이 아니고 그냥 예비역들을 데려왔구나.
It was not much of a choice, Detective.
폭동이 우연히 발생하지 않은 것처럼 들리기 시작했다. 폭동을 유도했다?
That is all.
의심스러운 사업상의 거래 정보를 폭로할 수 있다는 내용의 편지. 다실바시. 처음에는 이 편지의 성격에 의문을 가질 수도 있지만 결론적으로 당신은 감출 수 없는 것을 감추기 위해 발버둥 쳤다는 것을 알게 될 겁니다. 당신은 몇 년 동안 열심히 일하는 타인 덕에 먹고 살면서 그 보답으로 아무것도 내주지 않았습니다. 당신 밑에서 일하는 노동자들은 매일같이 조잡하고 손상되고 위험한 기계들과 실험하며 그들이 받아야 마땅한 보수의 일부만을 받으며 하루하루를 살아냅니다. 거래가 성사되고 그 피 묻은 돈을 당신의 주머니가 두둑해지도록 채워넣는 동안 그 대가를 치르는 것은 당신의 노동자들입니다. 그래서 뭐야? 이제 당신이 저지른 범죄에 대한 대가를 치러야 될 때가 왔습니다. 그 비용은 5,000 프랑입니다. 아이씨. 돈을 코디에 씨 앞으로 보내는 작은 갈색 종이 소포에 싸서 엉뜨뽀가에 있는 우체국의 개선원에게 주고 떠나시기 바랍니다. 이것도 협박 편지네.
Oh.
에르네스토와 휴고가 맺은 파트너십 계약서. 휴고의 서명이 누락되었다. 사업을 중단한다, 복귀한다, 단기 계약 조건을 직접 취한다. 휴고는 이거에 사인을 안 했어요. 그러니까 사업을 끝내는 거에 동의하지 않았다는 거죠. 이게 뭐야? 편지칼. 새것같이 날카로운 편지칼.
What is it?
이번 주간에 받을 편지가 있었습니까?
Excuse me?
I do not think it is unreasonable to question why you would.
Really, detective? Yes, and no.
But surely it is
There are barely any profits to.
Why have those talks not?
Monsieur Beckers has made no attempt to speak with me and offer.
에르네스토가 편지를 숨긴
I
이유?
have spoken of a potential blackmail ring, and yet you.
It is none of your business.
If that were the case.
Your
정중하게.
Even if there was some truth to it, demanding a ransom like.
I will be the judge of that. I trust there is.
더 숨기고 있는 것이 있느냐? 현재 쓰인 말입니다. 당신은 당신들이 누리는 풍요로운 삶을 가능하게 해주는 사람들의 삶을 소중하게 여기지 않는다.
I have never heard so much rubbish in all my life. I value those that work hard and deserve it.
소중하게 생각한다.
That suggests there.
Yes, well, why should I?
일을 잘 못하는 사람을 칭찬할 이유는 없지.
I think it is time you told me which.
There's no need to discuss my private.
뭐야?
I have spoken.
It is.
If that were.
You. No reason, detective.
I will be the judge of that. I trust there.
I get accused of.
에이.
It is not.
If that.
Your. No reason. I have never. Detect.
And it is you that decide.
In my house.
아실바 씨는 고용인 대우에 관한 압박에 불편한 내색을 비친다. 가혹 행위에 대해 그 목소리를 낸 고용인이 누구인지 짐작이 가십니까?
Please stop calling it that.
That does not mean you're.
They have one chance. If they are not doing the job they are hired to do, they are.
Is there a specific member of staff?
There is one girl,
Uh-huh.
a maid. I didn't expect great things from
아고
her,
백작
but
부인이
Comtesse de Vos promised me she would do
소개해준
what
하녀.
was required.
That is.
를 해고해서? 뭐 어떻게 했다는 거야? 시원하게 말을 안 해주네. 와, 여기서 하나를 링크를 하라고? 이거는 지금 하지 말자. 왜 나 못 나가지? 얘가 마지막 사람이었나? 못 나가요. 이걸 해야 되나봐. 여기서 딱 2개? 이 많은 거에서 딱 2개만 연결하라고? 아유 세상에. 일방의 서명만 마친 계약서. 숨겨진 종이 휴거의 노트. 에르네스톤 여성 쉼터 출신 하인을 고용한 편지 칼. 에르네스톤 협박 편지가 요구하는 돈을 줄 의사가 없음. 협박 편지. 숨겨진 종이 휴거의 노트. 휴거의 가족 사진. 제키는 휴거의 반응이 굼뜨다고 생각함. 소룡의 관심사는 돈뿐이었다. 소룡은 돈으로 제키의 입을 막으려고 시도했다. 제키의 노트, 신문 더미, 주머니 칼, 기도원의 방은 깨끗하다. 기도원과 자카리아의 사진. 자카리아는 기도원과의 대화를 망설인다. 담배꽁초. 자카리아는 기도원에게 마고에게 예의를 차린 것이라고 말한다. 자카리아의 단검은 기도원에게 준 선물이었다. 의장용 단검. 자카리아는 기도원과의 화해를 망설인다. 이거 뭐 어떡하라고. 마고는 만반의 준비를 하고 왔다. 구급상자. 마고가 인가의 취직을 도왔다. 마고는 여성 쉼터에서 일한다. 마고는 에르네스토의 하녀 구인을 도와주었다. 일단 요거랑 이게 안 된다고?
That is the way to solve the problem.
이게 안 된다고?
This will not get me any.
으이. 휴고의 반응이 굼뜸. 그의 성격이다.
Another success. I never doubted myself.
제키는 휴고가 공부할 것 같지 않다. 반반의 준비를 하고 왔다. 이것도 아니야? 기두온과 자카리아.
Order and method. Come, my little great. Some would say a lucky guess.
에미르 형제는 공부할 것 같지 않은. 이 여성 쉼터로 마고랑 이게 연결이 될 것 같은데 그게 안 되네요.
I must take a different
왜 안 되지? 이게 이렇게 돼야 될 것 같은데 안 되네. 아니면 이렇게?
I cannot see the logic in it.
아니고 이것도 시신을 확인하도록 허용함. 만받을 아니 구급상자?
Is there something?
이것도 돼야 될 것 같은데 안 되네. 편지.
Come, my little great.
어? 이거랑 뭘 연결하라고? 휴고의 노트를 연결하라고? 왜? 휴고하고 에르네스토가 회의에서 급하게 써가는 흔적이.
Things are beginning to
휴고랑
become clear.
에르네스토랑 공부하는 그거라고?
This will not get. What a revelation!
그래, 공부를 안 하지. 이게 어떻게 이렇게. 에르네스토가 다른 사람과 결탁했을 가능성?
Things are beginning to be.
에르네스토는 마고에게 도움을 요청했을 수도 있다. 야, 어떻게 이게 사고가 어떻게 이렇게 이어지냐? 이게 좀
What is it now,
좀-
detective?
쉼터에서 하인을 고용하는 문제에 대해 백작 부인과 직접
She
상의하셨습니까?
approached me,
In what way?
assuming that I would want to take on another servant, and one from such a troubled background.
뭔가 숨기는 게 있으시군요. 소련과 당신의 사업 관계는 분명히 합법적인 선을 넘었습니다.
When he came to me, I told him that with the factories on strike and my profits pouring down
공장이
the drain,
파업 중이라
I had
이익이
nothing for
바닥났기 때문에 줄
He
것이
said
없다
he could help me
그랬는데
get them all back to work
이윤을 낼 수
and
있게
the
돕겠다고
factories
말했다.
earning. His rates were steep, but he said he knew what needed to be done, and he was prepared to do it.
근데 파업은 더 심해졌다.
He made excuse after excuse.
The
I had no idea they were going to charge them like that. How was I meant to know?
폭동을 일으킬 줄은 몰랐어.
and even following.
He said if he wanted my silence, it would cost. Do you have any idea what it could do to my life?
I have every idea, monsieur. You hired a militia to.
I didn't know that was.
I have to. That is.
보잉? 뭐가 하나 생겼네. 마고는 도움을 주겠다며 에르네스토에게 접근했다. 이거랑
The pieces of the past.
여기도 링크를 하나 해야죠. 장난 아니네. 여기서 뭘 하나를 링크를 해야 돼? 범인은 왜 이러한 변명을 저질렀을까? 작성자는 가족의 몰락을 도우고 싶어한다. 협박범은 가족이 저택에서 떠나기를 바란다. 무엇을 난 도구는 무엇인가? 소룡이 안젤리나의 아버지? 편지. 소룡은 카산들에게 사랑을 고백하. 소룡이 가족의 비밀을 알고 있을 수도 있음.
I cannot see
이게
the
아니야?
logic in this.
용의자. 여기서 뭐랑 뭐를 연결해야 돼?
Another
아하.
success.
마고에게는 조력자 네트워크가 있다. 킨터 출신 여성들을 시켜 사회 지도층의 오점을 찾아내는 추잡한 일을 돕게 했다. 무시무시하네. 일단 나가자. 인가한테 말을 걸어야죠.
Is there something you need, detective?
인가야, 네가 마고의 스파이였다.
She helped me at the shelter. And...
That I am already aware of.
Pardon, detective?
I know that your position.
She said I had to do what she asked, or I would be back on the.
Merci.
스파이 짓을 했다. 그래서 인간은 마고의 명령을 따랐는데 뭐야 이거? 뭐랑 뭐를 연결해야 돼? 이렇게 연결해야 되나?
Some would say a lucky guess.
에? 인간은 도둑질로 도움? 스파이가 아니고 도둑질이야?
Is there something you need? Nothing. She said
If it was not some.
she wanted me
그렇지,
to
정보.
information
스파이지.
about the fact-
Why did she?
At first I didn't know, but when I heard about Mademoiselle Angeline being blackmailed, and then
제가
the
찾아낸
major-
정보를 부인이 쓰셨다는 걸 알았어요.
I knew Monsieur Archie had a key.
아, 금고를 연 게 인가여서.
You knew that the Major asked Monsieur.
I never took anything. I only told the Comtesse what I had found
And
about Monsieur Hagen and the Madame's relationship.
그렇지. 그 비밀. 카산드라와 펠릭스의 아이가
I'm
안젤리네다.
sure the Comtesse was.
She said I had done a good job, but I needed proof.
오늘 아침 제가 서재로 돌아왔을 때 편지들은 밖에 나와 있고 금고도 열려
I
있더군요.
fetched the letters again and took them to the
소리를
Comtesse's
지르며
house.
멍청하다고 하셨어요.
Only doing.
She said it was too dangerous. I thought I heard someone on the
아하.
stairs, so I just threw them back.
이걸 가지고 오다니 멍청한 것 이래가지고 다시 돌려놓으러 갔는데 인기척이 나서 그냥 대충 던지고 갔다.
Merci.
그랬구만. 어? 숨겨진 방의 존재? 이걸 알고 있다고?
Order and method.
갑자기? 그렇지, 숨겨진 방을 아직 속에 아무것도 안 나오긴 했는데.
I must act up.
아이 뭐랑 뭐야? 아 이거랑 이거라고?
Magnifique. I should not be surprised. I should not be surprised.
숨겨진 방.
Is there something you needed? That's all. I swear.
아치 씨와 펠릭스가 창고방에 대해 이야기하는 걸 듣긴 했지만
Is the Comtesse aware?
I told her it was somewhere in the house.
Merci.
I
That is not my decision to make.
그럼 이제 뭘 해야 되지? 숨겨진 방을 찾으러 가야 되나? 여기 링크를 하나 또 해야 될 게 있네요. 인간은 금고에 손을 댔다. 이게 봐. 숨겨진 방에 판된 보시가의 비밀이 숨겨져 있을 수가 있다.
I must take a different. Another success.
협박 편지를 보낸 자는 마구. 그럼 살인범은 누구야? 안젤리네한테 왔네?
Mademoiselle,
Have you had a...
I have.
정체, 협박범의 정체를 발견했습니다. 마고입니다.
I don't believe it.
Not only his.
She was blackmailing him as well.
Take a moment, mademoiselle. It is a lot of...
인가의 과거에 대해 아시는 것이 있습니까?
Be forthcoming with it.
And it is there that the Countess abused her power and manipulated her to...
그 여성 쉼터는 마고의 스파이 양성기관이야.
All this time she has been working for my...
I am afraid...
He's...
You are the first I have told, madam.
And we will. I want to see...
Monsieur Archibald informed me earlier.
Last night...
주말 내내 전화가 끊겨 있어서
Detective...
털링 씨가 전화에 대고 말을 하는 것은 보았지만 전화벨 소리는 듣지 못했다. 그 전화는 쇼였다고?
Detective...
이게 어떻게 된 거지? 그 전화가 쇼였다. 살인 시간을 조작하기 위한?
Would you like me to...
My apologies, mademoiselle. I was Merci.
집사장이 쇼를 했어. 왜 그랬을까? 전화가 일주일 전부터 끊겨 있었는데 전화하는 척했어. 숨겨진 방은 안 찾아보나? 엘리자베스가 어디로 가고 있는 것 같다. 이렇게 늦은 시간에 표정 좀 봐. 왜 저렇게 수상해 표정이.
Detective,
It is a rather late.
Oh, yes. I do not feel my...
If that is the case,
No, that's quite all right.
Lizzie, excuse me, Elizabeth. Lady Vandenborg.
Oh, yes.
I'll see to the detective.
Good night, Detective.
bonne nuit.
엘리자베스는 평소의 모습이 아니다.
I'm sorry about her, detective.
This weekend,
She'll be right.
as if by magic, you appeared when needed.
This out.
I shall be the one that determines.
As you wish, detective.
And
Yes, of course. I'll...
very well.
While I am gathering the staff, Mr. Becker...
I wish to keep a clear head.
협박범과 살인범은 별개일까? 아니면 이어져 있을까?
Monsieur Beckers, it is
I didn't even see the time. It's easy to lose oneself in a library this impressive.
That is something we can agree.
I suppose I should be...
Un moment, monsieur.
오, 생각보다 길어요. 선생님과 콜레드 양의 관계. 콜레드 양? 아.
I'm not sure what you...
Her proposal to make you somewhat of a star, a figurehead for the working man.
There was certainly no talk of making me a star. That is not the type of man I am. My speech? I'm not sure what speech.
You may save your false ramblings for your next audience. I am aware.
Whoever told you that?
Please.
Okay, fine. Yes, the Major and I spoke, but it was not for long.
소령과 무슨 대화를
I was trying
했습니까?
to convince him to speak with Ernesto.
And that was best approached by...
He wouldn't listen to a word I said. I spent so long preparing how I...
It is said that money...
Well, he was bargaining with people's lives.
실바 씨가 협상을 준비했다고 알고 있는데요.
A deal? It was an insult.
이거 모욕이었어요.
And that is why you did...
I didn't sign it because the workers deserve so much more.
그렇지.
Not his pathetic attempts to
그냥
get them back
파업을
to work.
중지한다 하나만 써 있었으니까.
Did you think there was a chance?
I know there was. He's a pompous swine.
휴고에 대한 제클린의 영향에 대해 압박하자.
Mademoiselle Conrad can...
She has certainly taken several wealthy business parts.
But she did not surprise or use you?
Me? Use...
터놓고 말할 기회를 주어야 할 것 같다.
No, she just reminded me of what I was fighting for.
반감을 보이며 단도직입적으로 당신은 그녀의 장기말에 불과했다. 실버스의 합의 제안이 직원들에게 충분하지 않았기 때문에 거절했다고 주장하시고.
Excuse me?
You had the opportunity to end the strikes, but...
How dare you? Everything I have done...
솔직하게 당신은 노조 위원장이지. 당신의 일은 노동자들을 지원하는 거고, 하지만 약속한 결과는 근처에도 가지 못했어.
I may not be perfect, but I've done everything.
Your efforts fell short in every...
It's not as easy as just signing a piece of paper, detective. It is...
You yourself spoke of Mademoiselle...
And I told you...
Tell me then, what was it she reminded you of?
It wasn't...
From where I am standing, it was she that was manipulating the terms of the deal. You were merely...
I think you have let you imagine. What kind of union leader at...
이게 아니야?
But...
Perhaps.
이것도 아니고.
And I stand...
rather...
Everything that has...
You yourself...
I think... What...
이런...
Mademoiselle...
She had...
But she did...
의문스러운
No,
듯이
she just remind...
단도직입적으로.
And I stand...
rather bold...
이걸로 가야 돼? 힐란 쪽으로?
Everything that has happened is my doing.
You yourself...
And I told you.
Tell me then...
It was...
From where you were...
Okay, yes.
당신은
I know.
그녀의 장기말에
I shouldn't
불과했다.
have listened to her. But what else could...
당신은 명성을 얻기 위해 사람들의 목숨을 굴렸고 패배했다.
What does that...
I have often wondered about...
When you're young, it is the best. It is not until everyone starts carving... My older brothers were the athletes of the family.
Oui, monsieur.
Then there was me. Quiet, timid. Years passed, and now that I no longer stood in a you hear politicians speak of the little or the common man? Well, that was me. It was supposed to be my crowning achievement.
Monsieur, it was not at your hands that these men died. The blame...
얘는 그냥 노조 위원장이었을 뿐인데 별거 없는 것 같은데. 고용인 방에 가자고? 고용인 방은 1층에 집사의 팬트리를 지나서 있는데 여기요? 처음 들어보네. 와, 어우, 그 숨이 턱 막힌다. 어우. 신문 해목 소룡의 것으로밖에 생각될 수 없는 참전 훈장이 왜 여기에 있어? 고용인 방에? 아이 뭐야? 자 버려진 옷?
아하.
소룡의 이니셜이 새겨진 옷? 이게 왜 여기 있지?
Detective, what?
You can help me by
Sorry, Detective.
It is no riddle, monsieur. If I do not receive the truth, you shall all be charged as accessories to murder.
Detective,
You have told me a version, and now I require honesty.
아 누구부터 대화를 해야 되나? 일단 링크부터. 링크 2개나 있네. 보자. 소룡의 코트와 낡아 빠진 부츠.
Is there some...
이게 아니라고?
Order and method. I cannot see the logic in it.
이 위쪽으로?
Things are beginning to be...
누군가가 소룡의 코트를 입고 소룡인 척 했다고? 그 정도로?
I must act on... Come, my little great... Magnifique.
소룡이 저녁 식사 중에 죽었다는 이론은 계략에 불과했다. 고용인들이 실제 사망 시간을 감추는 이유는 무엇인가?
Monsieur Sterling,
I'm not sure.
let us not...
소룡이 받은 전화 말입니다.
From his associate.
Do not worry yourself on such details now. I suppose...
I did...
서재에 있는 소룡에게 위스키 한 병을 가져다 주셨을 때가 소룡이 살아있는 모습을 마지막으로 보신 때죠.
Whiskey?
You took a bottle of whiskey to the Major?
Aye, of course. It was a bottle he... Or was it the...
왜 소룡의 훈장이 아침 올 듯이의 소지품과 같이 있었는가?
Oh, you found it.
If I had lost a war medal...
It's not what you think.
Exploiting a dead man's military achievements for your own...
Nothing of the sort. He asked...
전문 지식이 있는 것은 아니지만 그런 훈장은 꽤 가치가 있으리라 추측할 수 있을 것 같은데요.
I wouldn't know.
Your father was in the military for many...
He was.
And your family still...
They were sold.
And why was that, monsieur?
Is my family on trial now, Detective?
Only you, monsieur.
Because we needed money.
Voilà.
No. He
Is that a typical job?
He trusts me to do a good job.
And where does he keep the...
In the storage room. I know where...
한덴보시가에 계신 건 만족스러우십니까?
Certainly better than my last.
You are paid a fitting...
I'm sure the lady of the house would not want me discussing it.
불평은 할 수 없다.
Convincing...
Between you and I, we all...
일하는 것에 비해 임금이 적다? 이거를 어떻게 연결해야 되나?
I must take a different... This will not get me...
뭐랑 뭐를 연결해야 돼?
I must take a different.
에? 코랑 날가 빠진 부츠가 연결이 된다고?
Some would say a lucky.
용인의 부츠.
What a revelation!
고용인이 소룡의 흉내를 냈다.
Mademoiselle, I shall keep.
I don't know what else.
You have been honest with me.
Oui.
소룡을 발견하기 전에 무슨 일이
It
있었나요?
was frantic in the pantry. We were working hard to make sure everything.
Go on.
Then Liz burst in.
Her help with.
I don't know. She took Liz to one side, and I was needed.
You did not quit.
I was too busy. I love Liz, but she sheds a tear at almost everything these days.
Merci. Mademoiselle,
Okay. Merci.
forgive me, mademoiselle, for not extend.
He was my only brother. And he died doing.
공장에서 일하는 폭동에 대해 동생분이 어떻게 관련되었는지 말씀해 주시죠.
You say the riots, but it was the strike he was part of. They started the riots.
By they, you are
Security. Huh.
Why would they?
So that the workers would stop rallying. The security you talk of? Yes,
This was before or after Archibald took him a bottle of.
before.
You.
It,
The whiskey is kept in.
it is.
Then you must have noticed him go.
Yes, I. What is there to say?
That may be, but.
She wasn't.
And she came to.
I told you. We are.
When I saw her earlier, I must admit.
No! Just leave the poor girl.
Merci.
레아나는 엘리자베스의 몸이 좋지 않다 주장. 마음이 굉장히 괴롭다.
Is there some?
아니야. 레아나의 이야기는 타이밍이 불확실함.
The pieces of the puzzle of.
아치볼드와 레아나의 이야기는 불명확함. 실제 사망 시간을 숨겼기 때문이다.
The pieces of.
왜 이야기를 조작해야 됐을까? 글쎄, 이거랑 고용인들 살해에 관계되었다? 아, 이게 아니야?
My little Grace.
그러면 고용인이 소룡 흉내를 냈다?
I should not be so.
고용인들이 진실을 숨기고 있다?
What a revelation!
인가해제는 협박 편지에 관한 것뿐이지만 스톨링 씨와 레아 하나 양은 소룡 살해 방법에 대한 진실을 가리고 은폐하는 데 필요 불가결한 역할을 수행했다. 엘리자베스는 마음이 시기하다 그랬지. 걔가 뭐 결정적인 뭔가를 했을까요? 루크의 사망에 괴로워한 두 명.
Things are beginning to become.
엘리자베스는 아래층으로 내려올 때 얼굴이 창백했다. 레아나는 아래층으로 내려온 다음에 엘리자베스를 도왔다. 아, 이거 아니야? 이거 아니야? 아치볼드는 전화가 온 것을 꾸몄고 고용 있는 소유로 흉내를 냈다. 이것도 아니야? 이것도 아니라고. 왜 아니야? 레아나가 엘리자베스를 도운 이유는 그가 소룡 흉내를 냈기 때문이다. 아, 이것도 아니네.
Some would say a lucky guess.
인간은 살인에 관계되지 않음?
I cannot see the logic in it.
이거랑 이렇게?
I cannot see the logic. Is there some...
아, 이거랑 이걸 해야 돼?
Another success.
엘리자베스가 시체를 발견함.
Magnifique.
레하나는 엘리자베스가 시체를 발견한 이후 목격된 적이 없다.
I should not be surprised.
소룡을 흉내내는 것이 레아나의 역할이었다. 레아나는 엘리자베스의 행적을 덮어주었다.
This will not get...
왜냐면 엘리자베스가 범인이라서?
I must act...
어느 거랑 연결해야 되지?
Come, my little Grace. Another success.
아치볼드가 고용인의 행적을 덮어주었다.
I must take
아,
a dip.
이것도 아니야? 씨.
Order and method. Things are beginning to become...
어째서 엘리자베스의 행적을 덮기 위해 전화를 꾸며냈을까? 엘리자베스가 범인인가 봐요. 그래서 창백한가 봐. 근데 그래? 그런가? 어휴. 여기서 단 하나만 링크를 하라고? 이렇게 많은데? 방위 공격. 단 한 번의 자상. 이 두 개는 연결될 것 같은데요?
I must
안
take
돼?
a different...
이게 안 된다고? 이 두 개를 연결시켜볼까? 엘리자베스의 행적을 덮어준 두 사람.
Some
됐다.
would say a lucky guess.
어떻게 이걸 놓칠 수가 있었을까? 엘리자베스가 살인자다! 제 8장. 이게 무슨 창고방에서 쿵쿵 소리가 난다. 창고방으로 워프 시켜줘. 아 이런. 루크의 복수를 하려고 했던 것 같죠? 무슨 일이 일어나고 있는 거지? 창고방에 뭐 별게 없었던 것 같은데? 뭐야? 얘 왜 여기 있어? 여기 비밀방이 있나봐. 여기에 비밀방이 있나봐. 여기다 여기 뭐가 밀 쓸린 자국이 있잖아요. 여기 뭐가 여기 괴정시계 뒤에 뭐가 있나봐.
Monsieur Starling. Oh, please.
A butler's...
I am no fool, monsieur.
Honestly, detective.
And with good reason.
I've been thinking...
I often think on fond memory.
There are many...
무슨 가구를 옮기는 소리가 나던데요.
Obviously.
Of course not.
No, monsieur. You are...
Please, detective. I know you know how it ended up in my possession. Deceive?
Would you care to explain the fake telephone call?
Why would I fake?
The same reason that Mademoiselle Rihanna dressed in the Major's jacket.
I didn't kill him.
I know, monsieur.
It wasn't like that. We were just trying to help.
언젠가 레아나 양은 엘리자베스를 돕기 위해 위험을 감수했죠.
You never let on.
어떻게 하셨죠?
How long have you known it?
Monsieur, I am Detective Hercule Poirot. I only show my hand when I deem it necessary.
사실은 방금 전에 알았지만 저는 필요하다고 생각할 때만 제 패를 보이죠. 오, 방금 전에 알았다는 거를 저렇게 말을 하네요. 필요하다고 생각할 때만 패를 보인다. 오, 말 잘하네요.
She will stand trial for what she has done.
But you don't know the full story.
풀 스토리 모른다고? 루크의 복수잖아.
If Mademoiselle was only protecting her...
The Major's military storage box.
소령님의 군용 보관함?
The one that stored his...
Amongst other...
And those...
I had to protect her. If you found...
Whatever it is you have... I need a moment.
뭘 하려고 그랬을까? 분명히 분리된 성인 조각상 이게 이 괴종시계가 수상했는데? 이 성인 조각상은 방 문들 위에 달려있는 거였거든요? 저게 떨어져 있을까? 뭐 상호작용을 할 수 있는 게 뭐가 또 없는데? 그렇다면 링크
Magnifique.
창고방에서 비밀의 문으로 살인과 관련된 물건을 숨겼다?
The pieces of...
창고 조사하기가 이제 뜨네요. 드디어 가구 조사. 거기야 거기. 여기 아니야? 딱 그 괴종시계 여긴가? 아 여기도 아니네? 이상하다. 괴종시계 뒤일 것 같은데. 여긴가? 여기구나. 숨겨진 방. 군용 물품 상자.
오.
값비싼 라이터.
오.
편지.
아하.
자작의 유언장? 그게 왜 여기 있어? 특별히 뭐 이상한 내용은 없는데? 군용 칼. 아, 이게 흉기인가 보다. 이게 끝이야? 어우.
This will not get. I must act. Order and method.
이건 아닌가? 에잉? 장미 조각 핏자국이 반짝반짝. 에잉? 사라진 칼이 살인 무게일 수 있음. 핏자국.
What a revelation! Is there some?
아까 여기서 반짝반짝거렸는데?
Come, my little grey cells. I cannot see the logic in this.
이거는 상관없어? 아, 알아볼 수 없는 문양이 장미 문양이라고?
I should not be surprised. Another success.
정원에서 찾은 라이터는 소룡의 것이 아니다.
There is no use. He always had.
And yet, it was not.
My father's.
Monsieur, you have stashed.
If it is my path to end up behind bars for what I have heard how you fought for that.
Even the secret area that has been.
I couldn't just.
The Major was killed by his own knife.
It was in his holster when he attacked her. She didn't plan any.
That is what man.
She did, and I believe her. You think you knew the Major?
That may be true.
Put yourself in her shoes for a minute. If a man like.
I need a moment.
링크가 하나다. 정원에 있었다. 열린 창문. 뭔가 떨어졌나?
Magnifique.
뭔가가 떨어졌다.
This will not get me.
뭐가 떨어졌을까? 칼?
What a revelation.
칼이구나. 칼을
There is no use
떨어뜨려가지고
lying anymore.
그걸 수거하러 갔다.
When you asked me yesterday about seeing...
That does not.
When Lizzie took me to the study, the knife was still in...
So you collected it.
After your questioning in the pantry,
And where did you.
honestly...
자, 그럼 이제 무엇을 해야 하나? 해야 할 게 없다.
There is no use... Why what? Why I...
왜 엘리자베스를 그렇게까지 도와주냐고요?
Exact.
가족이니까요.
family.
I can assure you, monsieur.
Then perhaps that says something about you, detective.
Even if it means crossing.
Without question. Aye, detective. But please...
If she is put behind.
Detective, you can't be...
It is not cruel.
엘리자베스가 왜 소룡을 죽였냐고? 아, 루크 복수하려고 그랬겠지. 어디 보자. 이거 봐요. 루크는 공장 파업 당시 사망했잖아요. 근데 공장 파업에서 사람들이 죽은 이유는 이 소룡의 민병대 때문이란 말이지. 근데 이걸 어떻게 연결시켜야 되나? 소룡은 재정 상태가 좋지 않았음 연금을 받지 못함.
The pieces of the
보수가 좋은 일을 절실하게 필요로 함 에르네스토에게
Some would say a lucky.
의지를 했다. 소룡은 확실히 일을 완수해야 됐었는데 그래서 민병대를 조직? 뭔가?
I must.
아, 이렇게가 아닌가? 불명예 전역하고 이게
I must take a
연결이 될
different
리가
approach
없지.
if I.
소룡은 전쟁 포로를 사살했음. 소룡은 전쟁 범죄에 대한 협박 편지를 받았음. 이거랑 이렇게 연결해야 되나?
The pieces of the puzzle.
약속한 돈을 확실히 받기 위해 소룡은 파업 참가자들을 공격할 것을 명해야 했다. 그래서 루크가 죽었다.
Things are big.
루크가 죽어서 엘리자베스가
Some would say a lucky guess.
복수를 하러 갔다. 놔.
Detective Poirot,
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
please detect.
I'm afraid.
You have found detect.
It was Mademoiselle Elizabeth.
엘리자베스가 범인입니다.
You must be mistaken.
I assure you I am not. When you spoke of the telephone lines being out.
But it hasn't.
컬린시 레아나 양과 이야기를 나누어 가는 길에 저는 엘리자베스 양을
She was
만났습니다.
meant to be rescued.
I am afraid that was yet another lie.
Why would
I only managed.
I must admit he has.
It was much more than merely disturbed.
So Elizabeth killed Felix. And
In its simplest.
you have spoken.
어젯밤 창고방에서 들려오는 엄청난 소음에 놀라지 않으셨습니까?
It was Monsieur Sterling that I.
What on?
He claimed.
You don't.
He didn't.
무기의 위치, 숨겨진
A
구역.
room that held.
I had no idea.
I did.
Dishonorable. Yes, Gideon told.
Zachariah was adamant of the Major's cruel.
Surely not.
I am afraid not.
Oh,
It is the reason he was discharged, denied his military pension.
yeah. Innocence.
It was her hand that held
In all of the years I have.
the whole truth.
Will you allow?
I think that is an.
Please, detective.
I will offer
Thank you.
Would you bring.
Of course.
이제 마지막인가?
Mademoiselle Elizabeth, Merci for joining us.
Miss Angeline said you requested to see me urgently.
We have some serious matters to discuss, and I would like to waste no further time.
Oh, yes, Detective. Still not quite.
I was surprised when Monsieur Sterling hurried.
I should not have avoided my duties for so long.
That is true, but you can.
Honestly, Detective, it was. Have you been able to uncover who
The blackmailer's identity.
Wonderful news, Detective.
I would not say thrilled. No.
Mademoiselle is correct. What I have learned over this weekend is that people are not always as they appear.
And, what of the Major's killer?
Well, mademoiselle, that is why I have asked you here now.
루크가 파업에 가담했을 뿐만 아니라 최전방에 있었다고 알고 있는데요.
Yes, that is where he spent his last moments.
The resulting riots were a terrible tragedy. One that I hope we will not have to see or experience again.
Nobody deserved to die that day. Not my Luke.
자, 소룡에 대해 어떻게 생각하십니까?
I'm not quite sure what you want me to say, Detective.
Your honest opinion is all I ask, and
We only spoke when there was something in the house to be done.
you knew of his work with...
I only know what is required of me.
But you were aware of his work as security at Monsieur de
소룡이 다
Silva's
실바의
factory.
공장에서 보안직으로 일했다는 걸 알고 계셨죠?
I was.
저는
The factory
그랬죠.
your beloved Luke worked at before he was
사랑하는
free
루크가
from this world.
잔혹한 방법에 이 세상을 떠나기 전에 일했던 공장 말입니다.
Yes, Detective. Detective? What kind of question is that?
It is a straightforward one.
He...
Mademoiselle, if there is something you wish to tell me, now is that time.
I'm sorry, Detective, I just don't know.
Let us consider what we know of the Major. He fronted the militia that attacked the workers at the strike. You were aware of this? You finally had someone to blame for Luke's death. Someone conveniently located in the same house, alone in his study.
No, Detective. It wasn't like that.
Tell me what happened with the Major on the evening of his death.
소룡이 사망하던 날 저녁에 무슨 일이 있었냐?
I was only in here trying to prove what I heard Mr. Beckers say. I was going to report him, I swear.
그를 신고하려고
Don't you?
증명할 방법을 찾으려고 방에 들어간 것뿐이다.
I want to. I am still.
I was delivering Miss Angeline's dress to her.
안젤린의 아가씨 드레스를 방에다 가져다 드리려는데 베커스 씨가 서재에서 소룡하고 말싸움하는 소리를 들었어요.
Loud. Mr. Beckers was talking
공장
about
파업과
factory
그것이
strikes
소룡의 잘못인
and how
이유를
it's the
말하고
Major's
있었어요. 아, 이때 딱
Didn't
들었구나.
own up to his
거기서
crimes. He would go to the newspapers.
소룡이 자기 죄를 인정하지 않으면 신문사에 찾아갈 거라고 그랬다. 아, 이게 이제 제클린한테 휴고가 말했던 그거구나.
I cannot imagine the Major would have taken kindly
폭동을
to Monsieur Beckers'
의도시켰다. 사람을 죽였다. 그런 거를.
He didn't. He called him some rather uncouth names before Mr. Beckers left and went downstairs. After the altercation between the Major and Master Gideon, you went to speak with him outside, and I
그래서
thought I could go into
소룡이
his study without anyone knowing.
기돈한테
I had to know for
한 대
sure.
맞았을 그때
If it was true,
서재에 몰래
he
숨어
deserved to be
들어갔다.
held accountable.
And did you find...
I found a payment from Mr. De Silva, but there was nothing incriminating about that.
아실바 씨가 지급한 보수를 발견했을 뿐이다.
I felt like my heart would...
And then you...
I recognized the
협박
writing on the
편지
envelope. I couldn't
봉투에
read it.
적힌 서체를
How could he do such a
알아보았다.
thing to Angeline? To the family that had taken him in?
Common sense would determine the Major...
If I'd have used common sense, I wouldn't have been snooping around alone in his study in the first place. I heard the footsteps in the hall, and before I could move, the Major was standing in front of me, demanding to know why I was going through his belongings without permission.
아,
I tried to move around him towards the door, but he hurled something towards me, and it crushed
뭔가를
against the
던졌다.
wall.
That would explain the damage.
I froze. I have never been so scared in all my...
And you thought you would...
Oh, Detective, you make it sound... He lunged forward and grabbed me by the arm.
팔을 끌어당겼다.
I tried to push him away, but he was too... If only you had seen the look in his... I saw the sheath on his belt.
머리에
I
칼집.
didn't know what else to do.
So you took...
I just wanted to get him off me. I didn't want to hurt him.
You did
찌르고
not even look to
빠져나갔다.
see what's...
She had just.
Oui, please.
I ran down to the pantry looking for Rahana. She took one look at me. I explained to her what had happened, and she went... We went back to the study. Archie said that no one would believe me. that if someone like me killed someone like him, I would be sent straight to the gallows. He left the
So I am to believe that it was Monsieur Sterling and Mademoiselle Rihanna.
I swear, I had no idea that is what they...
Then Monsieur Sterling and
Please, detective!
If they wish to help you, they
Surely you haven't forgotten what happened with Fleurette. She was only accused of stealing a bracelet.
It is a day I have not forgotten, mademoiselle.
Without your help, I don't stand a chance. Please,
그래,
detective Poirot,
플로레트는
you are the only one that can help me.
팔찌를 훔쳤다는 누명을 썼는데 유죄가 됐지.
Oh, Elizabeth, why didn't you come to
야,
me?
그 팔찌 범인이 너잖아.
I didn't think you would believe me. I felt so guilty. And when it was announced yesterday that he was a victim of the... I'm sorry.
새 대화 잠금 해제.
Oh,
호룡의 칼은
I don't know.
If you have been honest...
I'm sorry, I really don't know. Archie dropped it out of the stuff.
I need a moment.
자, 마지막으로 연결해야 될 게 뭘까요? 마지막으로 연결해야 되는 게 뭐야? 군용카락 방해 공격? 뭘 연결해야 되지? 방위 공격하고 요거 두 개를 연결해야 되나? 그렇군.
Magnifique.
Oh, yes, detective. Please!
Oui. Mademoiselle
I cannot imagine the Major acting in such...
After learning what I have about the Majors, I know that you share a close...
She has committed a terrible crime.
If what she says of the Major's attack is... I will do everything I can. Mademoiselle,
Are you sure?
I can assure...
Elizabeth was right.
Mademoiselle, would you ask the guest?
Of course.
I have told Monsieur Starling to You have been of great help.
You...
While I am speaking with the...
You don't think...
In her position, I do not know what she might try.
엘리자베스가 자살할지도 모른다. 여기서 말할 게 더 있어? 이제 모든 진실을 밝히는 때가...
Detective, you have spent more time making us sit and wait for you than anything else.
진실을 밝힐 때가
Madame
왔군요.
Bosch, if you think I have spent my time focused on anything besides uncovering the Major's killer, you are sorely mistaken.
I'm sure you will be eager to share your findings with us then.
All in good time, Madame. Firstly, to understand the truth of what has occurred this weekend, one must know the timeline of events that not only preceded the Major's death, but succeeded.
We are all well aware of what happened before, Detective. You can save your breath.
You are only aware of what the guilty parties wanted you to believe, but now I shall apprise you to the true events. The reason for us all being here, you know. The altercation between Monsieur Demire and the Major, you know. The body of Monsieur Hagen was found while we were all sat enjoying a most delicious meal. That you also know. But what was kept from us all was that his body lay on the study floor for far longer than was thought.
It was that servant. She found him.
S'il te plaît, monsieur. It was indeed young Inga that found the Major's body lying lifeless in the study.
So it was her.
Monsieur, I will not allow for any further interruptions. I return to the Major's body. If we are to believe the scene that we were presented with, The major must have been killed during the
셜록은
first
이런
course of
거
our
안 하지
meal, a
않냐고요?
meal that none of you left, even for a moment.
셜록 홈즈의 사건들은 이렇게 많은 사람들이 관여된 것도 별로 없어요.
And although there was doubt in the validity of some, I confirmed that they were indeed all.
이를 고립된 곳에서 살인 사건 나는 게 별로 없어요.
Was how a man came to be found dead, and every guest accounted for at the time of death. That is until I questioned the latter. Monsieur Beckers, I shall now allow you to speak. You saw the major smoking a cigar in the snow. Is that true?
It is.
홈즈는 특이한 사건들이 많죠.
You saw what you are
거의 뱃속에 보석이
Someone in the
있었다든가
major's
뭐
coat, standing outside, giving the
가짜 사무실에서 일을 했었다든가 뭐
Monsieur da Silva, on the afternoon of the major's
어느 나라 국왕이 뭐 누구 여자랑 바람 피고 있었는데 그 여자는 스파이 같은 사람이었고 뭐 특이한 사건이 많죠 홈즈는.
Correct. The telephone lines have been down for the duration of our stay, meaning the telephone call that was received and promptly directed to the major's study was yet another act of trickery and deceit. But it did not end there. When I entered the study for the first time, it was obvious someone had already been there and falsified the scene to stage a burglary and clear away important evidence, including the murder weapon. What followed was an investigation that had already been hindered. But even those lengths were not enough to derail me for long.
I think we have all had enough of your self-praise, Detective. Perhaps you would like to tell us who killed him now?
Madame, as I'm sure you would expect, it is not as simple as that. What many of you do not know is the discussion that was had between the Major and Monsieur Beckers earlier that day.
What has that got to do with anything? I told you I didn't kill him.
That I know.
아, 근데 우리는 이제 다 진실을 알고 있잖아요. 진실을 알고 나니까는 지금 이 장면이 좀 지루하네요.
I hope you are not implying I had something to do with it.
No, madame. There was another. Mademoiselle Elizabeth. You are all aware that the Major was hired by Monsieur da Silva to front the security during the workers' strikes.
확인 작업도 다
What very few
끝났고
of you know is that it was the Major's order that instigated the vicious attacks on those unarmed men and resulted in numerous deaths, including Mademoiselle Elizabeth's fiancé, Luc. Monsieur Beckers confronted the Major, declaring that he was to hand himself in. That is what Mademoiselle Elizabeth overheard. Now, knowing the truth, she waited until the Major was away from his study. After he stepped outside following the confrontation with Monsieur Demir's fist, it looked to be the perfect opportunity, or so she thought. The Major returned and found her looking for the proof she required to hand him over to the authorities.
If the maid bumped him off, why hasn't she been arrested?
The events that followed in the study are not those of a cold-blooded murder.
코난도 그러긴 한데 코난도 좀 특이한 사건들이 좀 있는 편이잖아요.
Sounds to me, Detective, like you have taken a shine to this young girl and would rather protest her innocence than arrest her for murder, the crime she has committed.
Jeez, this is gonna make for a juicy story.
Mademoiselle, I ask you this. You have seen the Major's anger before, oui?
What if I have?
How do you think he would have reacted if someone was to find proof that he had committed a terrible act, and that if made public, would surely result in his incarceration? Exactement.
It is quite the story you have told, Detective, but all I have heard is that Elizabeth overheard a conversation blaming the Major for her fiancé's death, and she murdered him in revenge. A servant killing a man that is as revered as he was. She will face the noose.
I am not denying that a man has lost his life, but it is not the crime of murder that you all believe. While the Major did not deserve to die in such a way, it was his actions towards Mademoiselle Elizabeth that drove her to defend herself in any way she could. Mademoiselle Elizabeth will be punished, but we will let the law decide the severity of her punishment.
She has played you like a fiddle, detective, acting the innocent victim. She will be arrested and hanged for her crime, like every other cold-blooded killer.
Here.
Give her what she deserves.
The girl has got to pay for what she's done.
어.
Those of you that are calling for the hanging of Mademoiselle Elizabeth, have you forgotten the roles you played? Your actions have been far from innocent.
Look, Detective, I see where you are going with this, but it's not going to work.
Mademoiselle Conrad.
오우. 머리 기사를 위해서는 뭐든지 해야겠다는 제안이 불가능한 것은 아니죠.
You don't need to imply it's only me that does.
Even if in the process people are hurt. You knew the situation surrounding Mademoiselle.
You really are delusional.
당신은 어떻게든 다른 사람들을 자기를 계획에 의해 이용했고 그로 인한 영향을 고려하지 않았습니다.
You obviously have no idea what goes on in my world.
다른 사람들의 실패를 딛고 승승장구하셨죠?
Look, it's...
Mademoiselle, I do not have time for your excuses.
It's not... Okay, fine. Yes, the story was going nowhere. There was a deal on the table, and it was going to be done and dusted. Everything you said is true. I wanted the story. The scoop that would have blown the others out of the water. I didn't think you had this side in you. I can see now why Angeline asked for you personally.
We can't just forget what that girl has done. It's not Jackie's fault, or any of ours.
Monsieur Beckers, you are the... We talked only last night, and correct me if I am wrong, but you have already declared the road.
Yes, we talked. It's just...
단도직입적으로 해야 되나? 당신은 노조 위원장인데도 노조와 전혀 관련 없는 사람에게 휘둘렸습니다.
Detective, I'm afraid it was not my intention for things to escalate as they did. I could not have predicted that would happen. Jackie was documenting everything to do with the strikes.
And they were
Naturally. If I cannot...
원래 대행은 당신의 모든 결정을 좌우하고 영향을 주고 조종했습니다.
No, it wasn't like that.
This is not a tale that has been created. The facts I speak
당신이 어제
directly from
말했잖아요.
your mouth yesterday.
Nothing is ever...
화려한 언변은 충분히 오래 들었습니다. 이제 진실을 말해야 될 때다. 아, 이게 아니야?
But you're nothing but a bully. You may try to discredit my...
You see it as an attempt.
Worded however...
All I wanted was that...
I hope you're not implying it.
어?
I am implying nothing. I am merely
This is outrageous!
어이씨, 이거를 그냥 한 번에 성공시켜야 돼? 다시 하는 거 없어? 아...
It may be a big deal to you, but when you're in charge of... If... You said it. Anonymous. I don't know them, and it doesn't sound...
Monsieur da Silva.
Is that what you plan to do?
The events that led...
Apparently.
Through...
Hoarder?
Monsieur da Silva.
아, 왜 이렇게 잘 안 되냐?
Does your position on...
Even after all your...
It was not choice to hide any...
I wouldn't have... Quite presumptuous.
Putting my own feelings towards the Major aside. So, even...
You have no...
You were there for him when he needed free...
That is not the case.
His actions are
You judge him so...
S'il te plaît, madame.
He was not always like that. I cannot allow another.
You claim to fight for justice.
It was a valiant effort.
Your attempts to convince us of it.
I knew that you had a cold heart, but never would I have expected to see you turn. She may have been the one that held the knife, but look at the monster that stood before her. He bribed, he extorted, he murdered.
I'm sorry, Margaret.
Because that girl does not deserve your job.
Countess, when I last gathered you all together, I spoke of Mademoiselle Angeline requested my help.
Get on with it, detective.
If it was not for the...
For goodness sake, it was me.
협박범이 나였다. 그냥 확 밝혀버리네.
While it looked as though the Countess was helping the young... Monsieur da Silva fell victim to her network of...
That cannot be.
That is rich. Coming from you.
You are one of my oldest friends.
High and mighty, Madame Van den Bosch. You think you can do what you wish when you wish it and there will be no repercussions.
If I do not get a...
I'm surprised it took the Major this long to start living with you. He must have been on the edge for some time.
How?
A home you share with the father of your daughter for...
You have no right.
어,
Maman,
왜 이래?
Angeline? Have you heard what she has admitted to? She is merely trying to make herself...
is what she says true?
어,
Felix, he was my father? That is the secret that the letter was talking about, isn't it? You told me that we had nothing to hide. Detective Poirot, were you aware of this?
Oui, mademoiselle. But it was not my place to repeat.
I don't understand. What about father?
Your maman betrayed the love of a good, honest man and played away behind his back and then kept it hidden for all these years like a lady of the night with her client list.
You will say no more. Angeline, I...
Did Felix know?
This is not an appropriate conversation.
He knew, dear girl. He knew the whole time. It is
야,
only
이게 어떻게 되는
dear
거냐?
Edwin that was blind to their deceit.
You will not talk of him like that. You will not talk of him at all.
If I don't, who will? You never deserved him. You don't even deserve the memory of him.
Countess, there is something that you still have not explained.
What more is there for her to say?
왜 이렇게 협박을 하는데 열정적이냐?
How long were you in love with the Viscount for?
Margot? Is that true?
We were destined to be together. And then you turned up. And I was all but forgotten about.
아, 그게 또 그렇게 됐다고?
But you were nothing more than friends.
And you made sure of that, didn't you? From the day you arrived, it was all about what you wanted
그게 또
and
그렇게
what you had to do to
원래
get it.
마고랑 에드윈이 결혼하려고 그랬는데 카산드라가 나타나서 뺏겼다.
It was just a purse to you.
I loved my husband, and I miss him every day.
Loved him enough to stray?
Both of you, no more.
Please, Angeline, let me explain.
Maman, I do not wish to hear anything else from you.
Not even your own daughter wants to hear your lies anymore. Cassandra Van den Bosch, all alone.
How dare you!
난장판이다.
While I feel a sense of satisfaction and pride in solving both cases, there is still a part of me that is
그러게
reluctant to
엘리자베스는
revel
어떻게
in
되냐?
triumph. I am content with the unmasking of Comtesse de Vos as the blackmailer, and knowing
결국 절반밖에 설국을 못했는데
it
설득은.
is the justice for Mademoiselle Elizabeth that worries me. She will stand in a court of law, and I can only hope that they can see she acted in self-defense. I must trust that our legal system and justice will prevail, and a fair sentencing will be given. In protecting her own life, she took the life of another. Perhaps the guilt she must live with is a greater punishment than any sentence she can receive. Countess de Vos was taken from Nemozinet House in cuffs and placed under arrest. Although she initially tried to plead her innocence, Inga, along with a number of other girls that the Countess had found employment for, came forward and made full statements. She was charged with 5 counts of blackmail and extortion and sent to a house of corrections, where she will have a new life to become accustomed to.
멀티 엔딩일 것 같지는 않아요. 지금 동영상으로 나오는 걸 보니까. 물론 동영상을 여러 개 찍었으면 되겠죠?
While they may not be facing time in prison, tampering with a crime scene and obstruction of a police investigation are certainly not.
근데 방금 진행을 봤을 때 내가 설득을 실패하든 성공하든 어쨌든 마고가 일을 터뜨렸을 것 같고.
Mademoiselle Angeline finally became Madame Demire, and together they took up residence in England, where Monsieur Demire continues to support and fight for fairness and equality in London. I am happy to say that we have remained in contact, and Madame Demire has become a regular correspondent of mine. And the latest joyous news is that they are expecting a child of their own. After Madame Vandenbosch's secret was revealed to the world, her position in the social hierarchy was no more, disappearing in a moment. While she still resides in Belgium, I believe she has had to adapt to a far more modest way of life. A humbling experience for her, I am sure. Madame Demire has not mentioned her maman in a single letter. After the discovery of her real father and how she had been lied to for so many years, I am
하긴
not surprised
했었는데
that her departure from Belgium was somewhat an act of separation from her maman.
내가 옛날에 NDS가 있었거든요. 그때는 고등학교 때라서 내가 알포 칩으로 했었는데 버그가 자꾸 나더라고요.
became one of the most talked about stories of the year. While there were certain details of her own involvement that did not make it to print, she was really quite complimentary about the detective at the heart of the case. Monsieur da Silva tried to continue in his position as factory owner and business entrepreneur, but after his accounts and business dealings were investigated following the details of his blackmail being made public in Mademoiselle Conrad's article, his illustrious business empire began to crumble and is now facing an international corporate investigation. Monsieur Becker stepped down from his position as union leader, accepting that he was no longer fit to represent the workforce that, in his words, he had let down on a scale of unmeasurable proportion. Although he is no longer the voice of the workers, he continues to support them from behind the scenes. Monsieur Zachariah and his brother made amends, and returning to his family home, and after sobering up, he was able to find the help that he required. I understand that he is now helping fellow soldiers with similar conditions. And Mademoiselle Elizabeth.
Oh.
She stood before a court and was found guilty of second-degree murder. She was sentenced to time in a female correctional house on the outskirts of the city. Alone in a foreign country with no friends or family for support, it will certainly be a hard life for her there. Her mental and physical strength will surely be tested to their limits.
이 경우는 우리나라도 정당방위 받기 힘들걸? 사람을 죽여버려가지고. 아이 정당방위가 제대로 집행되는 건 미국 정도밖에 없는 것 같아요. 거기는 정당방위로 쳐들어온 사람 죽여도 정당방위 해주던데.
Perhaps he would still be alive today, and the Major would have paid the price for his own crimes in the eyes of the law, not at the blade of a knife. The blood of Major Felix Egan will remain on Elizabeth's hands. A stain that wherever she is and whatever she may do, she will never be able to wash clean.
우리나라는 법의 근본이 일본 법에 있어서 그래.
Not only her, but all of us, of what we as human beings are capable of to protect ourselves. We all have something that may be considered shameful or sinful, and it is how we deal with it that shows our true character. Those involved in the riots, the workers' deaths, and the Major's killing believed themselves to be untouchable. Whether it was from their social standing or their confidence in themselves, they learned that everyone is accountable for their actions. There is no exemption because of the suit you wear or the money in your bank account. There is no price to a man's life. It cannot be bought or traded or discarded. No man is better than another, including Detective Hercule Poirot.
근데 결국 엘리자베스도 살인죄로 감옥에 갔다는 것도 참 찝찝하네요. 갓겜. 근데 저렇게 단서를 링크 시켜서 하는 거는 좀 답정너가 되거든요. 이 제작자가 짜준 대로 연결을 시켜야 되는. 그래서 좀 그 링크를 시키는 거에 뭐라 그래야 되지? 납득이 가게 해야 된달까? 그런 게 좀 있어야 되는데. 그리고 또 여기서 못했던 거는 그 링크를 시키는 거에 경우의 수 같은 게 한 번도 안 나오는 거. 셜록 홈즈 죄와 벌 악마의 딸이나 내가 저번에 소개했던 좀비 디텍티브 그쪽은 이렇게 단서를 링크 시키면 둘 중에 이게 이런 쪽일까 아니면 저런 쪽일까 막 선택을 해서 선택한 거에 따라 또 링크가 달라지고 이런 식으로 진행이 되잖아요. 그래서 배드 엔딩도 나오고 그러는데 이거는 너무 호흡이 긴 사건을 다뤄서 그런지 그런 분기까지 만들어 놓진 못했고. 근데 여기서도 지금 이 스토리를 봤을 때 충분히 분기를 만들려면 만들 수는 있었을 것 같아요. 그러니까 배드엔딩 분기. 근데 그게 없잖아. 예를 들면 이제 우리가 처음에는 엘리자베스가 뭐 살인범일 거라 이런 생각은 추워도 못했잖아요. 그래서 여기 손님들 중에 범인이 있을 것이다 라는 쪽으로 막 이렇게 링크를 가게 해가지고 배드엔딩으로 가게 한다든가 이런 게 없어. 그런 게 없어. 근데 지금까지 추리 게임에서 제일 재밌었던 거는 페인스크리 킬링즈였는데, 그렇지 않아요? 페인스크리 킬링즈 그게 최고였는데 좀 막히는 부분이 있어서 그랬지. 씬 인베스티게이터 언제 나와요? 그거 나온다 그래놓고 데모 버전만 해놓고 나오지를 않네. 그리고 나는 또 의외로 저번에 했던 그 뇌절 탐정 이왕건 2도 괜찮았어요. 그거는 물론 추리 게임이라고 하기에는 게임적 요소가 없긴 했는데 그 뇌절 탐정 이왕건이 의외로 그 소설 아니 추리 소설의 왕도를 따라가고 있거든요. 단서랑 그런 거를 촥 보여준 다음에 탐정이 알았다! 라고 하는 순간이 나오고 그 알았다 하는 순간에 우리가 범인을 찍어야 되는 그게 이제 추리소설의 왕도잖아요. 그걸 하더라고요. 회차 플레이 추리 게임이라뇨? 그게 무슨 말이지? 메리드 스타즈요? 그건 안 해봤어요. 평가가 메리드 스타즈 그리고 노베나 디아블로스? 평가가 그렇게까지 좋진 않더라고요.
Detective Poirot.
아 뭐야 이거.
I trust this finds you well. It has been many years since our paths last crossed, and while I'm sure your recollection
동영상
of the
보는 거구나.
events may
컬렉션, 도서관의 모든 책 조사, 게임 내 모든 창문 조사, 중요한 순간에 멈추어 주의를 환기. 대단원을 실수 없이 통과. 여기서 실수를 했어도 엔딩은 똑같았나 보다. 결국. 아 어쨌든 이 게임을 이렇게 해서 클리어를 했네요. 그래 지금 이거 게임 구조상 배드엔딩이 있을 수가 없겠다는 생각이 드네요. 배드엔딩이 있을 수가 없겠다. 그건 좀 아쉽네요. 어쨌든 재밌게 했고요. 스토리는 압권이었네요. 되게 복잡하게 돼 있었잖아요. 협박범도 있고 파업 얘기도 있고 과거의 그 출생의 비밀도 있고 살인범도 있고 너무 복잡하게 얽혀 있었어. 아 추리 게임 중에는 저것도 재밌었는데 파라다이스 킬러 그것도 재밌었는데 그거는 또 후속작이 안 나오려나? 아 근데 파라다이스 킬러는 한글판이 있었어야 되는데 그 영어로 해가지고 파라다이스 킬러가 대사가 되게 많거든요. 근데 너무 말을 어렵게 하더라고. 한글 패치가 나왔다고 했던 것 같기도 한데 어디 한글 파라다이스 킬러 한글 미지원 계시냐고요? 나 지금 계속 말하고 있잖아요. 어디 보자. 한글 미지원이네. 송 오브 호러요? 뭔지 모르겠는데요. 계속 추리 장르만 계속 할 수는 없으니까. 내가 옛날에 영어로 했던 게임에 한글이 된 게 뭐가 있었는데, 이런 추리 게임 중에 뭐였지? 모르겠네요. 어쨌든 오늘은 여기까지 할까요? 자, 다음에 또 봐요.